Welcome to
Stays Crunchy and Milk.
If you have any questions or comments, we have multiple ways we can be reached.
Around?
That is one of the ways. Twitter is, of course, the best way for those of you that need instant gratification in this millennial-based world. And of course, the show's Twitter feed is at SKiMPod. That's SKIMPOD. For the more patient amongst you, which is none of us, let's be honest, the email address for the show is podcast@stayscrunchyandmilk.com. Crunchy again, being spelled with a K. We're also available via Apple Podcast, something I've never heard of, Stitcher Radio. Are any of you still using that shit? TuneIn Radio, whatever the fuck that is, I couldn't tell you. Google Play, I've heard of that. I don't use it, but if you do, thank you. Spotify, now that one I use, so find us on there. I know we're on there. And of course, at the website, stayscrunchyandmilk.com. Now I ask that you please rate, review, subscribe, and share the show, because honestly, I don't do that shit. And I need someone to pick up my slack. Now, I hear that there is a group of people here that collectively discuss music, and they provide for you, yes you, a pod called Cast. It's a musical discussion show built on a hip-hop foundation, which seems to be what makes the musical world turn these days, and I hear it's pretty swell. Our personal Twitters are Tatum216, Lunchbox2099, The Real ODP, and your host, Internet's Tasty Tayrel713.
On a man-made lake, there's a sheet of thin ice where unskilled skaters cut figure eights twice. That's 16, uncut, direct from the coat. Head on assault, the result, death by the bolt. In a vault, they spoke about the average lost permission that was seen by a king in a prophetic vision. Like a plane crash from a bomb blast. Special broadcast slot time with Comcast. They kept the jury quiet, now the riot will form. While satanic man now hanging his dorm. I swing on you fake radio personalities who boost your ratings. With hypes behind casualties and fire shots with low pressure water gunplay. Instantly slap your five like it's Palm Sunday. I fashion the first tool from the elements the earth used and build it to a complex network of communications. You're up against a hopeless situation. I screen every vehicle through enemy observation. Swarming unpredictably, we spread terror. Increase the fog significantly, change the era. Check my wind pattern is headed west. Success is freedom, but failure can mean death. Human sweats aim shovel. Dig up debris and rubble. Permanent damage caused by the double. You, now who, cowardlessly urge you to merge through and think the workers will serve you. The sonic marvel, who just dropped the next novel. Worldwide, rapidly marred in marble. It's a countless amount of MCs I saved. And them same niggas want to squander those gifts I gave. Scratch underneath the surface. Where does your purpose lie? It seems our will is worth this, but with palms beneath the sky. I can keep this going, but I'm going to stop there. Hello, and welcome to it. It Stays Crunchy and Milk, episode 395, and I hope it's as scenic as the one out in Cali. I'm joined by my best friends. It's Tatum216.
Hola.
It's Lunch Bix 2099 because I misspelled his name on this sheet for whatever reason.
Lunch Bix.
It's also Queen Pen and Black Street. No diggity, no doubt.
And it's the homeboy, the real ODP in the building.
I love my food, mommy delicious.
What?
That's an inside joke.
Yeah, fair enough, sir.
You guys don't remember that? This food is a...
yeah. He meant to say, yes.
He said meant to say, delicious, but his text auto-typed to mommy delicious. I'm like, mommy delicious, that could work.
Mommy could be delicious. That's all good. What's poppin' with y'all, man? Just a quick
I think then it would be mommy with an I.
M-A-M-I, you are correct.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. What's the good word, y'all, man? What's going down?
I don't have a good word, man.
Yeah, it's been pretty sucky kind of 2 weeks.
Oh, my God.
It's been a fast week.
You think?
I mean, it's just my thoughts, man. Just my thoughts.
I know. I've been literally at work putting a timer for how long I have left in the day till I leave. And I just watch the seconds tick by.
Yeah, you are abusing yourself at that point, man. You can't do that. Don't do that to yourself, man. That's awful.
What's the one song Cleveland Brown be singing? Crew? The dreams I had, something. The dreams dream of dying are the best I ever had.
Jesus.
You don't know that song?
I don't know this track.
You don't
I
know that
guess.
song much. Help me out here.
Oh.
Talking about like from the Cleveland Brown from the Family Guy?
Yeah.
I never watched that show. I've never seen the
I
Cleveland
know it's
show.
a real song. I know.
Dreams in Which I'm Dying are the best I've ever had.
Yeah.
Mad World by shit. I can't remember.
REM.
Something like that.
Michael Andrews.
Maya Angelou?
Tears for Fears.
Okay.
Tears for Fears. Mad World.
All right. Well, let's.
REM does not sing Mad World.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know it needed a Tyrell.
Gary
Don't blame
Jules
us.
does.
Gary Jules. That's the one. Gary Jules sings that, and it was. I first heard that song on a commercial for Gears of War.
Oh.
Yeah, the Mad World, trailer is like one of the major trailers in video game history. My OGs know that me and Gabe have played through at least the first 3 Gears of Wars together.
Yep.
So I'm saying we get down.
All around the world.
Familiar places. Yeah. Worn out places. Okay. I do know Mad World. I don't know. I just didn't know the Cleveland Brown version of it.
I mean, he just sings it one day when he's at work, and it just reminded me of Gabe.
Well, you know how we do. I hit you with a selection of news stories. I think I pulled them all this week. No disrespect to Ant, but I don't think Ant only sent me a couple, and I felt like they wasn't really for y'all. I thought they was for me. So,
Yeah, I guess it's really hard to tell when, like, I'm sending you, like, just stuff to send you.
yeah.
And if you want to use it for the news, you use it for the news. But I don't even remember if I sent you anything this week. It has been one of those.
Here. I will actually just go to my phone real quick and tell you the stories Ant sent me this week that were just for me and not for y'all. And that is. Where's my little Google alert? Stories Ant sent me.
It's kind of selfish of him, if I'm being honest.
This one is about the chicken shortage in the U.S. Now, that could go on the show, but it won't go on the show because it's from Fox Business News, and of course, Fox News can eat all the dicks.
Yeah,
All
I try not to
except the
send.
chicken ones. They're running out of chicken dicks.
I try not to send you stuff from Fox.
New York Post, which is owned by the same guy who owns Fox News, is also another reason you won't get that story read on you, and that is about the lady who apparently turned Adam Sandler away from her IHOP, and he took it fine. And then let's see, I think
You
you
want
sent
the chicken?
me.
They were out of it.
They already. Let me see. I think you sent me one more. Nope, the other one was saying the restaurant we should go to. So we good. So this week,
that was just something for us to have lunch at. Like,
I hear you. So
and that was on Saturday.
So this week I'm the newsman, and let's punch him out right quick. First story: PA woman's Facebook post about husband's role in U.S. Capitol assault led to his arrest. They be telling on themselves, and it make me laugh every time. This is from the good people at Cleveland.com. This is from
I think I sent you that 2 weeks ago.
No, you sent me the one where the husband's wife got arrested.
Oh.
We flipping it this week. Wife got a man all caught up. This is by Cliff
Woman
Pincard
power.
over at Cleveland.com. Oh, it's
Happy Mother's Day.
It's something. Southampton, Pennsylvania, a woman wrote on Facebook about her husband's role in the January 6th insurrection at the U.S. Capitol, leading to him facing federal criminal charges. Gary Edwards, 68, nigga, too old, stay your ass home, of Southampton, is charged with entering a restricted building without authority, disorderly conduct, destruction of the official business, violent entry, disorderly conduct on Capitol grounds, parading, demonstrating, or picketing in a Capitol building. Edwards was released on a $100,000 bond after making his first appearance in court on Tuesday, the Philadelphia Inquirer reports. More than 400 people nationwide have been charged in connection with the riot, including several northeast Ohio. Court documents show that federal agents were tipped off to Edwards reportedly being in the Capitol by now deleted Facebook posts from Edwards' wife, Lynn Feller Edwards. Okay, ladies, let me tell you what happened as my husband was there inside the Capitol Rotunda, Lynn Edwards wrote, according to court documents. There was a small group of young men dressed in military garb who yelled, "We are going in." They broke the barricade down, ran up the steps, broke a window, and climbed in. They broke some furniture, then proceeded to storm the floors. Lynn Edwards wrote that although her husband was in the Capitol, he calmly spoke with police and poured water into the eyes of the officer who had been exposed to tear gas.
Oh, how nice of him.
Although the posts were removed, an informant took screenshots and provided them to the FBI. Documents show agents were able to use the information from the posts to match photos of Edwards to videos taken during the Capitol assault. On Monday, John Douglas Wright of Canton was arrested on accusations that he forced his way into the Capitol building during the assault. Clifford Mackerel, 20, of Lorraine, was arrested in March on accusations that he assaulted a police officer during the insurrection. And former therapist of the Cleveland Municipal School District, Christina Priola of Willoughby, was arrested on January 14th.
Damn, she's giving therapy to people and then she's like all fucked up herself?
Several others in Ohio have been arrested in connection with the assault, including Jessica Watkins of Champaign County in western Ohio and members of the Oath Keepers militia. Yeah, that's a thing. I don't even know. What I find the most amusing is, and we talk about it every single time, these people truly didn't think there would be any repercussions to this. They thought they'd get away with it clean. They thought they'd be fine. And here are the end results. So there you go.
Yeah, that, like, Willoughby is not far from here at all.
Yeah.
Not at all.
They would have gotten away with it, too, if it wasn't for those meddling kids and that damn dog.
All right, so this one...
When you pull off a mask, what? Mr. Racist?
This one I find amusing, and it will pair nicely with the next one. So this is from Becky Faria over at Motherboard Tech by Vice. A huge Chinese rocket part is making an out-of-control descent to Earth. The 30-meter tall, 21-ton rocket booster launched by China last week could fall in areas as far north as New York State and as far south as New Zealand. That is too much planet, you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
An enormous rocket component that China recently launched into space is out of control in orbit and is expected to make a chaotic re-entry into the atmosphere this week, provoking concerns about a possible impact in a populated area. The rocket debris, which is estimated to weigh more than 20 metric tons, will most likely splash down in remote ocean waters, but its current trajectory also passes over urban areas as far north as New York State and as far south as New Zealand, reports Andrew Jones of Space News. China's Long March 5B rocket blasted off last Wednesday and successfully delivered the first Tianhe module of the nation's new space station into orbit. Unfortunately, the massive core stage of this particular rocket, known as the CZ-5B, also ended up in orbit. Expendable rocket parts that enter orbit are often equipped to perform deorbit burns, maneuvers that guide them into controlled reentries of the atmosphere over unpopulated regions. Ground-based radar trackers have revealed that the 30-meter tall CZ-5B core is tumbling in space, confirming that Chinese space officials do not have control over the component and therefore cannot perform a deorbit burn that would ensure a safe reentry. China already sparked worldwide criticism when it initially debuted the CZ-5B in May 2020, a launch that also placed the core booster into an uncontrolled orbit. Debris from its wild re-entry was reportedly scattered across a village in Côte d'Ivoire. I don't even know where that's at. Let me just do a quick Google search to see where that is located. It seems like a French word, but...
That sounds... I was thinking the same thing. It sounds French.
Which is a country in West Africa.
Okay.
Which is probably invaded by the French at some point. Luckily, there were no accounts of injuries or fatalities caused by the impacts. It was seemingly a successful launch until we started getting information about a reentry of a rocket body, a reentry that was really dangerous, said Jim Bridenstine, who was NASA's administrator at the time. According to Jeff Faust of Space News, it flew over population centers and it re-entered Earth's atmosphere. It could have been extremely dangerous. we're really fortunate in the sense that it doesn't appear to have hurt anybody. It's not unusual for rocket parts to fail to safely deorbit. Just a few weeks ago, the second stage booster of SpaceX's Falcon 9 made an uncontrolled reentry that ultimately dumped the heavy pressure tank onto a farm in Washington State. We ain't heard shit about that till just what the hell?
Wait,
However,
really?
China has drawn another round of consternation and rebuke from international space officials due to the sheer size of the CZ-5B core, which is almost 7 times larger than the Falcon 9 second stage. Both CZ-5B launches have left their core stage in orbit from uncontrolled reentry. Okay, that's a lot going on there. Well, I guess it's almost over. Either way, rocket coming down from, as you can see, the globe seems to be where its target is at. Yes, we hope it lands in the water, but apparently we have a history of things not landing in water.
Yeah, that's pretty fucked up. But I mean, of course, it's not fucked up because they can't really do shit about it. But like the amount of vastness, man, New Zealand far as fuck from New York.
Yeah, I mean, like it's like opposite parts of the damn planet.
Yeah, I just be like, man, I'm going. Where you going on vacation to? Man, you in New Zealand or New York? I mean, that's like, yeah, that's too vast.
Yeah, it's way too big. It's way too big. But speaking of space stuff, and this is our Ohio, technically our Ohio story of the week. UFO reports surge nationwide. Ohio ranked top for states for sightings.
Well, number one.
This is from WJW. This is Susan Stratford over at Channel 8, basically. UFO reports have surged during the past year, and Ohio is again one of the top 10 states for sightings. In one report, a man in Lakeview, Ohio, shared his video of a UFO that has law enforcement, pilots, and even UFO investigators stumped. Whatever that object is, it made many appearances over the U.S. lately, said Rob Swiatek, an investigator and board member of MUFON, the Mutual UFO Network. MUFON. Swiatek also shared new information about...
They be doing that shit on purpose, boy.
For sure. Wait. Swiatek also shared new information about what Cleveland Browns quarterback Baker Mayfield and his wife Emily might have actually seen soaring over Lake Traverse in Texas this past March. Additionally, we're learning more about the forthcoming report from intelligence agencies concerning UFOs that are supposed to be released in June. Images and videos captured by U.S. naval crew members have already gone viral. I'm a firm believer in UFOs, said Mayfield. It's real. I saw it. I'm glad the Navy finally confirmed some more pictures, and now people don't think I'm crazy. As part of
too late.
What the hell? As part of the coronavirus relief bill signed by former President Trumpito in early January, intelligence agents were given 180 days to declassify documents and share what they know about UFOs.
I didn't know that.
We're actually number 10 for sightings. Cali number 1, Florida number 2, Texas number 3, New York number 4, Pennsylvania number 5, Arizona 6, Michigan 7, Washington 8, Colorado 9, Ohio number 10.
That list makes sense.
Aaron Rodgers also, I was listening to a podcast one time. He talks about how he's seen the UFO. So,
yeah. People get hit in the head a lot, and you parents tell them you see UFOs. How interesting.
Mm-hmm. Brett Favre said he saw a UFO. He said he wanted that UFO kneeling during the national anthem.
These next two stories also do a nice little bit of pairing up, and that is where we will wrap up the stories for the week. California bar owner charged with multiple felonies for allegedly selling fake COVID-19 vaccination cards, officials say. This is by AITA Marusi over at CNN. A bar owner who allegedly sold fake COVID-19 vaccine cards from his business was charged with multiple felonies, including forgery and identity theft. The owner was arrested at his bar, the Old Corner Saloon in Clements, California, the State Department of Alcohol Beverage Control said Wednesday in a statement. ABC being Alcohol Beverage Control, if you were wondering, received a complaint that fake vaccination cards were being sold at the bar.
Not another bad creation?
And opened an investigation. The statement said, in April, undercover agents were able to buy 4 fake cards there as part of their investigation. John Carr, an ABC spokesperson, told CNN they paid $20 for each card, he said. That motherfucker was underselling his, undermining his value.
Yeah, that's a hell of a deal.
Yeah. It's not clear how many cards were sold in total. Agents found 2 completed cards and about 30 blank ones with a laminating device, Carr said. ABC said agents also found an unregistered firearm with the bar owner during the arrest at his bar in Clements.
It's a dangerous business. You got to have a strap.
Which is nearly 35 miles southeast of Sacramento. So this is NorCal. This is the first case the California Department of Alcohol Beverage Control has investigated that involves allegations of the sale of fraudulent COVID-19 vaccine cards, Carr told CNN via email. The bar owner faces 3 felony charges, including carrying an unregistered firearm, forgery of a government seal, and identity theft of Pfizer, CVS, and the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, according to the San Joaquin County District Attorney's Office. He is also charged with creating a false medical record, a misdemeanor. The man is expected to be arraigned May 18th in Lodi, California, according to the San Joaquin County District Attorney's Office. A spokesperson for the DA office didn't know if he had retained legal representation. The arrest comes as nationwide vaccine rates have fallen, while the United States averaged 3.38 million doses administered per day across a week in April. The current 7-day average is 2.19 million doses per day, according to CDC data. The most recent numbers as of Wednesday show daily vaccinations have dropped by nearly 20% from last week. San Joaquin County District Attorney Tori Verber Salazar expressed concern about the sale of fake vaccination cards. It's disheartening to have members in our community show flagrant disregard to the public health in the midst of a pandemic, Salazar said in a statement. Distributing, falsifying, or purchasing fake COVID-19 vaccine cards is against the law, endangers yourself and those around you. Health officials last year decided that everyone who receives a COVID-19 vaccine will be given a vaccination record card showing their full name, date of birth, type of vaccine, and the dose dates to keep track of immunizations.
Did you guys laminate y'all cards?
No.
I didn't laminate my card either.
I had a doctor's appointment Monday, and I had them put it in my official record. So now it's in my medical record that I've been vaccinated.
I don't know where my card is.
You do need to know where your card is. So
okay, let's find that.
Yeah, that's important because of this next story. It's Marin McKenna over at Wired. COVID-19 vaccine passports are coming. What will that mean? Scores of plans to verify immunity are in the works, but there are even more questions about how they'll use data, protect privacy, and who gets certified first. Sometime soon, you might arrive at an airport or a stadium or a restaurant, open an app, or flash a card and be admitted to a place or experience that was denied you during the pandemic. You will have just deployed a vaccine passport. A certificate, where was it?
In my wallet the whole time.
A certification of either vaccination status or immunity following a natural infection that confirms that you no longer pose a risk to others. Soon is right now in Israel, where a passport debuted in February that lets vaccinated people attend events and patronize restaurants and gyms in the country. And in Estonia and Iceland, where proof of vaccination allows non-citizens to enter without quarantine. Soon is probably the near future for other rich countries that vaccinated their citizens early, including the United States, where the Biden administration has committed to the concept of vaccine passports and is pushing the Department of Health and Human Services to set standards for competing private sector products. But soon is nowhere in reach for the low and middle income countries that have received only a small number of vaccines or haven't been able to begin their vaccination campaigns, which means the arrival of vaccine passports could let affluent societies reach the far side of the pandemic, while poor ones are still waiting to be protected from it, reinforcing the economic divide the pandemic made so evident. There's also so many proposals for what might make up a vaccine passport, where the data is held, how frameworks are built to protect it, what's the app that delivers it look like. That it's a little too early to talk about their final form, but experts say there will be no escaping their development, and it is not too soon to discuss whether they will endanger privacy, exacerbate inequity, and create a two-tiered world. There's an inevitability to this, says Alexandra Phelan, an international law scholar and faculty member of the Center for Global Health, Science, and Security at Georgetown's University School of Medicine. Fundamentally, governments are wanting to implement these mechanisms because they are not only about protecting public health, but also about restarting the economy and removing barriers to travel. There's a lot more to this story, so I'm just going to stop it right there. But I chuckle when I hear people mad about this because you need to get vaccinated to travel to many places on this planet. You can't go to Africa without getting a yellow fever vax. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. And a malaria vax and some other things too. It is what it is. And you have to have proof that you did those things. So adding COVID to the list of diseases that you have to be protected against makes perfect sense to me. And also they already know where you are. They can track you. Stop being a dumbass. It just is what it is.
You got a tracker that you look at porn at every day.
Damn straight, man.
Yeah, shit, I've been talking about my lawn, and now my Instagram's full of companies ads from all these different lawn care companies.
See, there you go.
The most fucked up part is when you be thinking about something and it pop up on Instagram. How many times did that happen to y'all? Like just thinking about it.
Too many.
Enough to make me concerned about Instagram and Facebook's hooks into it. You know what I'm saying? But we shall see. My mother hit me up the other day to tell me my brother has COVID, which is very upsetting because my aged mother is having to take care of my knucklehead brother who listens to this show. So I'm calling you a knucklehead to your face.
Oh no!
Because you could have got your shot and you didn't get your shot because you was on some bullshit. I'm disappointed in you. May you survive and be well because I still love you, punk ass crab. So it's folk out there in my own circle who just is like, I don't know about this vaccine, and my mother has said she will be forcing that issue sooner than later upon him to get that taken care of. So that will be the way. But it's like, folk, man, just it's so breezy. It really is easy at this point. I think it's simple. You know what I'm saying? It's just like everybody seems to have it. You know what I'm saying? The vaccine, the ability to get it. So you can go hit up almost anywhere. Our local grocery chain seems to be the spot that a lot of people are going to get it done. The CVS's, the Walgreens of the world, and so forth. I would say avoid Drug Mart. They seem to be on some bullshit. But beyond that, man, you can get a shot. And you should go get your shots. Next week at the mass vaccination site we have here in town, they're going to start doing the single dose Johnson & Johnson shot. So coming back around to that type of a vaccine. If it goes like it should, starting next week, children between the ages of 12 and 15 can start being vaccinated, assuming the approval has gone through and everything. So
still into my kids.
Yeah, but my youngest can get vaccinated. So they are kind of excited about the idea. So I'm like, cool. Like I said, as soon as I can get you shot up, you get shot up. It's all to the good. But yeah, man, we wild out here, and yes, we're going to need proof to say we got vaccinated. That's true. It just makes sense to me, and I get it. Some people are like, that's my medical information. I don't want to share it, but I'm like, again, you jacking off every day. They know what you're doing.
You know, I read this article one time about like not sharing medical information is one of the reasons like different cancers and other research hasn't gone further or as far as it can go is because we don't share medical information.
Like, explain that for me. Like if we all had our if they had our data, what would
okay, so yes, sharing different medical information is, you know, people want to respect your privacy, but if they reformulated the way they shared medical information, they could like, it's almost like when somebody did a murder in Los Angeles back in the day, but they didn't say, hey, you know what, Tom Jones murdered somebody in Los Angeles, he can't go, and they don't communicate that with Sacramento. So if they were better with like the way they shared the information, things would be further along.
Yeah, and it's probably like in many aspects, it's probably time for some super big changes that need to occur. But of course, that has to be paid for. You know what I'm saying? Our so much of our infrastructure needs to be fixed up on. It's probably time to take a better look at our medical research. I almost, like I said at the doc just this Monday, and I almost was about to chop it up with my doctor about what have you been taught about black people? Because I feel like I might have to start asking that question because it turns out a lot of black people have been taught. I mean, a lot of white people, a lot of doctors have been taught weird things about black people. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I might need to have that conversation.
Yeah.
Because, bruh, if I need you to treat me like a human and not like just whatever, then maybe that conversation needs to be had, you know?
Yeah, that's a tough. Yeah, it's weird to say that's a tough conversation to have.
It is, because it almost seems like you're accusing them of racism, but in reality, I'm saying, no, the system that taught you is racist.
It's racist,
you know what I'm saying? And so I feel like I said, it might just need to be something that needs to be discussed, and so it.
Well, you want the best care for yourself. You got to be open and honest with your doctor.
Exactly. It's like don't be don't be telling your doctor you don't drink and smoke and shit like that, man. They not the cops, bruh. It's okay. Have a conversation with them. Let them know what's going on, and then maybe we can walk the walk and get things done as we need to, bruh. So. That's how we roll, man. But that is this week's news situations, man. So you know how we do. First up is always my man Tatum. What's on and popping with you, champ?
Not a whole lot. I've had like a pretty quiet, fast week. You know, I cut the grass and shit. Really not much to it, but something happened on Saturday. You know. It was a nice day, so we took the boys to a park. And this particular park had like a sandbox. And we were, you know, playing in the sandbox. I think my one son was just like, my oldest, he was doing something else. Like he went to play on some monkey bars or something like that. And like I was in the sandbox, like sitting on the bench next to my youngest son, and some other kids had came into the sandbox and been playing back and forth, and they had like a hoe. It was like a little toy hoe in the box, and this one little kid was digging a little flagrantly,
throwing sand all over the place,
a little bit, and my youngest son, Emery, felt the way about it. Because I guess he had got some sand on him. He had a thing full of sand that he had, and he went to go pour it on the kid.
Had to approach him on it.
Yeah. And then, like, the boy was like, hey, what is it? Like, you know, as you should when you have sand poured on you. And then, like, I get up like, hey, come on, chill out, Emery. And then Emery was like, "Rrr, rrr," and like growling at the kid, like, as the mother was like, hey, you know, please, you know, calm down with that. And Emery, like, did not stop. He was just like, he got sand on me. And then I'm like, okay, Emery, just chill out. It's okay. And then little boy's like, I didn't do it. And like they're just going back and forth, and I'm like, all right, calm down, Emery. Display. Even if like I don't remember exactly what I said. I'm like, he probably didn't mean it. Nobody wants to get sand on you, and he was like, but he did. and I just brushed him off, and I talked to him about it, and it was just like a little while after that, he had to go to the restroom. So we went to the bathroom together. We talked about it some more. And he was just like, fuck that. Pretty much fuck that kid. He got sand on me. And I really couldn't talk to him about it. And then I was my other son came on the scene after that, like, man, what happened? And I'm like, the little boy got some sand on Emery, and Emery poured sand on him. He was like, whew, I'm glad I wasn't over there. Like, straight up and down, just like, I wouldn't know what to do. I was like, okay.
See, I thought he was taking another way. Like he ain't want to see me because it would have been a fucking
not.
problem.
Anthony is not like that at all. Anthony was like, I'm like, I wasn't there.
Like I got to avoid that uncomfortable situation.
Yeah,
I can't go back to jail.
Yeah, not even that. Anthony is just like a total peacekeeper. He was just like, Anthony would have just turned around and not said nothing. Anthony was just like, Anthony would just be like, oh, you're playing in this area? I'm going to go over here because first of all, you're a stranger. Second of all, I don't want any conflict. He definitely would have just like, he just definitely would have moved out of the way and just not want to be near that kid. Anthony was like, I mean, even before that, like, so it's like a rectangle sandbox, and like, it's these built-in, like excavators in there.
Yeah.
It's like it was. I think it was like 4 of them in there, and like Emery had already like pretty much pushed the kid away off one of the escalators earlier. I was like, oh God, I'm going to watch him. Because like Emery and Anthony were in there first, and yeah, like I don't know, I talked to him the best way I could, but it's like I'm not gonna say my son is a bully, because Emery is like the sweetest kid. Like I feel like Anthony is nicer, but Emery is sweeter.
Yeah.
Like. Most of the time when I'm working at my desk, Emery is sitting on my lap. Like I have to extend my arms and like type around him. But you just can't fuck with him. Like, and
He knows where his boundaries are. I like that. I appreciate that.
Yeah, he knows where his boundaries are. What did I say to him earlier? I told him if he didn't pick up his toys, I was gonna chop him in the neck. And he was like, well, I'm gonna chop you back. And I was like, Emery, I was just kidding. You're not gonna chop me back. And then he was just like, you know what? I'll chop you back and then I'll beat up the world. And I was like, oh, all right, man.
Oh shit! I fucking love it. I love it, man. I don't know, man. It's just I dig Daddy Anthony, man. It's just dope, man. I like you being out there having a good time with the kids and shit, man. I know it sometimes.
Being a dad, like it's the most. I'm not saying being a parent. I'm saying being a dad, especially the kind of dad I am. It is not. It's so not unrewarding. Is not the word. But it's such a thankless job at this point. Like they don't give a shit about nothing. Like no matter what I do, it's total Janet Jackson. It's like, what have you done for me lately? it's it's oh man, like my son Emery begged me to make him macaroni and cheese for like 2 weeks now because we try to mix up what he eats, but that's all he wants to eat. Last night, he ate like child helpings, but pretty much 4 helpings of it.
Yeah.
Like I gave him a spoon, he ate it. I gave him a spoon, he ate it. I gave him a spoon, he ate it. Then today, didn't eat it at all. And he's like, I don't want that shit today. That was yesterday. And
it's a new day, motherfucker. Get on it.
Or I want waffles. And then I make them waffles and they sit on the table all day. Like, I ain't feeding you nothing else. I don't care. I just want to eat then. So, it can honestly be unrewarding. Like, I'm glad that, like, I mean, of course, like, I have bad days. But I'm glad I don't have that many bad days because I got to pull myself out of it because they don't care. They don't care not one bit.
Like, yeah, I said fuck you. Well, there you go. That was my man Ants week, man. So we were missing a box last week, one for the NFL draft, but also just because some things, man. So I don't know if you care to share. If you do, you can. If you don't, no worries. But If you would like to share what's popping in your world, Daniel, son, that'd be gravy.
Yeah, I figure I'd regale you guys with the tale of my last 2 weeks on the Earth. So, let's take this back to the day after I last recorded with you guys. And it was a weekend where I was meeting up with my buddy and some other high school friends because he was moving to Dallas that following, basically the first day of the NFL draft. He was supposed to leave for Dallas.
Yeah.
So I got off work on Friday evening, and then I went and met up with him at the bar around the corner from my house, and I hung out with him until about 1:30 in the morning, and had a couple drinks, got some wings to go, and some fries, brought those home, ate those at about 2 o'clock in the morning, drunk in my living room. And then, not to say I was drunk, but I had a little buzz a couple hours prior.
Yeah.
So I consider it drunk eating. And so I sleep in the next day, and then I get up, and I was supposed to meet up with him and our other buddies as a group that evening. And he told me we were all going to be up around 7. So I had been lounging around all day. And then I messaged him about 6:30, and I'm just like, hey, what's the plan? Because he just told me we're going to meet up, and then we're going to go either here or here. And I'm thinking, okay, well, just tell me where we're going. I'll meet you guys there. So I message him, and he doesn't get back to me for an hour. And you know how I am when it comes to plans. If you tell me 7 and your ass is late getting back to me, I'm already kind of disgruntled. So in my mind, I'm like, oh, is this shit not happening? What's going on? But I decided to come in the living room and watch Falcon and Winter Soldier. I hadn't watched that episode yet. I think it was the finale, actually. And
I haven't seen the finale yet either.
Well, I have now, but at this point, I think it was the finale that I had not yet watched. So I came in here and I watched the finale, and he just texted me to come to his apartment. And at this point, it's going on 10 o'clock at night, and I'm thinking I thought we were all meeting at 7. Now I'm just kind of what the fuck? But in my mind, I'm this is my buddy's moving away. I'm I gotta suck it up this time, because if there was no moving away and this was just Saturday night, I would have said fuck it and not gone. If I'm being 100% honest, I know he's gonna hear this, but to keep it a bean, 3 hours after our initial start time, and you're just now telling me to come to your apartment. That's a fuck it, I'm not coming. On a normal weekend. But so I threw on some clothes, and I went to his apartment, and they were all there, and hung out there for a little bit, and then the night prior, he had tried to coerce me into going to the strip club with him, and I had told him no, because we had spent that whole week, and he had told me that was not going to happen, and he wasn't going to ask, and it wasn't on the table. We were just going to hang out. And then he asked me while we were at the bar, and I'm just you try to lure me here under false pretenses to go to the bar to the strip club with you, and I'm not down for that. But I'm
we get a good story out of it, though.
Yeah, well, I told him, I'm look, if we're all together tomorrow night as a group, and the rest of the guys want to go to the strip club, or they're cool to go, I'm I'll suck it up this last time, and I'll go, even though I don't really want to. At least that way, if I'm not trying to keep a stripper away from me, I have someone to talk to. So I thought for sure that the one guy would poo it, but he went with it. So that was the plan. So we left the apartment, and I drove everybody to the strip club, and it was it was the same strip club that I had talked about the last time I went, a couple years ago. And it was just as sad as it was that day. There was 2, maybe 3 strippers working. It was a bunch of middle-aged dudes. Granted, I'm rapidly approaching middle age, but these were New Balance wearing dudes were like, they stepped out, like they told their wife they were going to Walmart and they went into the strip club for a rough and tow, you know?
So they weren't cool New Balances. They was wide feet New Balances.
Yeah, these are like the ones where I don't cut the grass in these New Balances, you know, with the crispy Wranglers and the like, what would it be, like the North Face jacket? So we sat there for like an hour and a half, and nothing was like really happening because there was just like not enough entertainers for the whole place to actually get entertained. Because like if you like, I'm gonna be straight up honest. The one chick kept going into the private area and blowing dudes and whatnot.
What?
Like
What?
yeah. Like I'm gonna keep that 100. Like I saw a dude getting blown.
Oh no!
I mean, you know, hey.
Yeah. It
Some
was
people pay
really
a lot of money for that live show.
It was real. The thing was, like, it was in my peripheral, right? So the way we were seated, there was 5 of us at the table, and I had my back to the stage, and I did that on purpose. That way I wouldn't be tempted. No one can make eye contact with me because I know that's the stripper way. So I strategically sat my...
The way of the stripper.
Yeah.
The way of the stripper.
Now, I forgot to mention, when we sat down at this table, two of my buddies to my left started, like, kind of like panicking and moving around, and I didn't hear why at first. So like as we finally all got situated, I leaned over and I'm like, hey, what the fuck was going on? And my buddy goes, oh, there's jizz on the ground. And I go, that makes sense. Like, I'm not surprised. So we sat there for a while, drank a couple White Claws. Not a whole hell of a lot was going on because there was like one black lady stripper who was like hanging at the bar with like the old white dude. And then
A regular.
Yeah. Well, see, apparently she was my buddy's regular too.
Oh.
He went there hoping that she would be free to provide legal counsel for his area. And then there was like this like tan...
Hold on, one second. Do he get a BJ too when he go there?
I don't know about any of that. So there was like I can't tell. I don't know if she was Latina or just a tan white chick. I wasn't really staring or nothing. I couldn't tell. But she was the one doing all the work in the private area. I watched her dry hump like 2 gentlemen. And definitely saw her fellatiating another man. And then there was like one little pale, like emo-looking chick, but like she wasn't around much. I saw her up on stage for like a second, and then she disappeared into the back for a while. So like we were all just kind of sitting around, and like my buddy, I think, was like looking forward to it as like this is my last time here, because apparently he spent some time there over the years. And you could tell he was getting like kind of disappointed and frustrated that this wasn't going to happen, because like when the bartender lady, like we'll call her the den mom, came over, but she was like running the bar. She came over to see if like we needed more drinks, and like he kind of snapped at her and told her like, we don't need anything, we're leaving, kind of like. But he did it in like a grouchy way, and she got really like offended and upset.
She was like,
and then,
I know you, bro.
Well, like, but then like my buddy didn't think he did anything, and like we were all like, yeah, dude, you snapped at her, like that wasn't cool. And like keep in mind, like I'm saying all these things knowing full well he's gonna hear this and he's gonna talk to me about it. But so we definitely left the strip club. Now the guy getting the blowy, right? As I said, like I couldn't avoid seeing it. Because the way we were situated, I had like my buddy to my left and right, and then I had 2 guys across from me, like diagonally. So every time I looked to the right, between the 2 guys' shoulders was the private area where like stuff was going down. So like a couple minutes before we left, the entertainer was in that area with the gentleman. And she was doing this thing where she was bending at the waist. She was in like 6-inch heels, bending at the waist, but like nothing was touching him, but her face was near his waist area. And so it was real weird because the dude like kept looking in my direction because he saw that I saw.
Don't look at my eyes, bro.
Yeah, so then like I would look away, but then as my eyes would oscillate back between my two buddies, my eyes would catch his again because then he'd be looking in my direction again. Almost like he was getting a blowy from her, but looking at me and thinking about me while it was happening. It was real weird.
Look at me.
Yeah, it was like his mind was trying to pull me to lock eyes with him or something.
Don't get my stockings.
Yeah. So I didn't want to like cause like a ruckus. Like I didn't want that dude to come over and be like, stop looking at me or anything like that. So I was cool with the fact that like they wanted to leave. So we ended up leaving and going back to the bar we were at the night before. And we hung out there for like an hour and a half. Like I managed to get some fries because like apparently the bar closes at 2, but they turned their grill off at 1 for some reason. So I got some fries because I hadn't really had dinner like up to this point, and I needed to make sure that like I was sober because I was driving. So I had like a half a beer and I left the other half just so I could have more reason to tip the bartender. But they all kind of drank more, and at this point, they were all kind of toasty. And so they wanted Taco Bell, but the Taco Bell was closed. So then they demanded Denny's. So we tried to go to Denny's at like 2 o'clock in the morning, but because of COVID, nothing's open. So we ended up at Sheetz, because Sheetz was the only thing open in the whole Parma area. So I ate like a candy bar and drank a tea while like... They were apparently, and Sheetz was having a problem with their like menu screens, so like they ended up getting like cold little wraps out of the freezer thing or whatever. Oh. So the one guy like passed out in my back seat, and then me and my other buddies, we kind of sat around a little picnic table thing. It was like around the same area Anthony and I sat on my 30th birthday. Hung out there for a little while, had kind of like an American Pie, we're all going our separate ways type of moment, and
so the next step.
Yeah, it was kind of that. It was very in that vein.
I forgot all about that. We stayed out really, really late that night. Like,
dude, we went to Cheesecake Factory, and then we went to Dave & Buster's, then we went bowling, and then we went to Sheetz. I had to have gotten home at like 4 o'clock in the morning or something like that.
If you got home at 4, I got home at 5.
Yeah. I mean, like, it might not have been 4, like, because bowling probably ended at like 2, Sheetz 3, maybe 4. Okay, yeah, something like that.
Yeah, we were out for a long time. That was a good night.
Okay, so they had all Ubered to my buddy's apartment, except like the one dude, but he was too drunk to drive at that point. So like my one guy had been trying to get a lift when we were at the bar, like way before we were into Sheetz, but he couldn't get one because no one, like, people aren't doing that shit right now. Like it's like. I had the hypothesis that all the Uber and Lyft drivers shifted over to Uber Eats and DoorDash drivers because then they don't have to worry about people getting in their car, but they're still getting paid to drive. Because it's like impossible to find an Uber driver or a Lyft driver or anything like that at night anymore. Like once it gets past like 10, they're all gone. And even then, like there's not that many before that. So I had offered to take him home like 2 hours prior, but he's like, oh, no, it's cool. Like, I'll just crash at, our buddy's apartment. And I'm like, all right, well, I offered. So then, like, we're at the Sheetz, and at this point, man, keep in mind, it's like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm tired, and I still got to drop all these motherfuckers off and then go home. And then he's just like, hey, can you take me home? And I'm like, you son of a bitch. I offered to take you home 2 hours ago. And now here you are, added to my route when I want to go to bed. I'm like, but you know me, I'm like, fine. So then, like, on the way there, I drop him off, and then our other buddy actually, like, got out of the car and went to crash on his couch, even though his car was at the apartment that I was about to go to, which didn't make any sense to me, but whatever. So then, like, I had the one guy in the back seat who had, like, slept during the whole Sheetz thing, because he was that blackout drunk. And then I had my buddy who was moving away in the front. Well, no, he was in the back seat still at this point. So then, like, I pull away from that buddy's house, and which it was kind of like around it's in the neighborhood of where I I was living at when we first started doing this show. Like at that, back at that house. So I get like around the corner from the house, and the guy in my back seat starts dry heaving.
Oh no!
So I immediately panic. Thank God it's like I said, it's like 3-something in the morning. So I stop the car and I unlock the door, and he like opens the door and just starts like, I don't know if he actually vomited or just dry heaved until he felt better. I couldn't tell, but like, thank God he didn't throw up in my backseat because I would have been furious. So I dropped them off at my buddy's apartment, and then I come home, and at this point I get home about 4:00 in the morning, and I park the car in the garage, and I come to the side door, I unlock the side door, and my tabby cat is sitting on the second step of the stairwell. Now, him being at the door when I come home, it was nothing unusual because that was, something he did all the time. And yes, I'm speaking in past tense. That's definitely a spoiler. So I come in the house and like he's on the second step, but he's not acting normal. Like he's acting like he's sick. So like I finally got him to hop up to the kitchen floor because I couldn't get around him. He was like taking up. I didn't want to step on him. So he hops up into the kitchen, and then he laid down on his side like he would do when he didn't feel well. So like I could tell like something was wrong. But I figured like maybe he just wasn't feeling well and that he'd be okay. So I closed the garage door from the inside, and I had to go to the bathroom because for some reason these days whenever I drive anywhere I have to come home and poop. So I go in the bathroom for like 10 minutes and I handle business. And then I come out and like my cat is sitting in there's like a hallway here that connects like the dining room, living room, kitchen area. And he's like sitting on the floor and he's breathing in a weird way. Like he can't catch his breath, or like he's like trying to hawk up a hairball or something. Like it didn't look right. But like nothing I could really do. So like I tried petting him. And then I picked him up and I went and take him in my room with me, and I got in my bed and sat down. He like clawed the shit out of my shoulder, and then he immediately left my room and ran back to the dining room and was like still dry heave breathing with like, it would look like he was out of breath and shit. So I was like, all right, well, maybe he'll throw up and he'll feel better. So at this point it's like 4:45 in the morning, and I go to lay down, and like I left the bedroom door cracked in case like he threw up and didn't feel well and he wanted to come in my bedroom or whatever. And I laid in bed for a few minutes, and I could just hear him like getting worse in the dining room. Like it was getting louder and louder. So I felt bad. So I came out here, and when I got out here, I found that like there was 2 piles of saliva on the floor now, and like he had like the biggest fucking saliva loogie hanging out of his throat that I'd ever seen in my life. And it was like he was choking on his own spit. So I went and grabbed some paper towel, and I tried to clean his mouth. And he let out this, like, sad meow. And it was the last time I heard him say anything. Like, nothing else came out after that. So, like, I Googled what was happening. And it was at that point I realized that he was having a heart attack, and there was nothing I could do because there was no emergency vet. The first emergency vet in the area wouldn't open for another 3.5 hours, and at that point it was going to be too late. And I knew there was nothing I could personally do, and so I sat here, and I just tried to be with him, but then he hid under the dining room table. So then I started messaging my buddies that were with me when we got him. Like, we were all living together, so, like, they had an attachment to him. So, like, I'm kind of over here, like, trying to keep it together, but I know, like, what's coming, and I'm messaging them. It's 4:45 in the morning. They're sound asleep. But I'm leaving them Instagram message in our group chat about what's going on. And in that time, he had gotten up from under the dining room table, and he had skedaddled over to the kitchen doorway. By the stairwell, and he was laying on the floor at the top of the stairwell, kind of like breathing hard again. And I went in the kitchen, and the calico cat had followed me in there because at this point she thinks it's breakfast time. So she's excited. And she's like running around the kitchen and she tries to go over to him and sniff him. And he freaks out and he basically gets up and kind of staggers down the basement stairs. Like he staggers into the wall. And then he just like, I think he fell down the stairs if I'm being honest. Like I couldn't see because it was pitch black, but I saw him hit the wall. And then, he disappeared into the vast darkness of the basement. And at that point, I knew what was happening because, like, when cats are about to die, they go hide. It's like a defense mechanism. So I essentially, at that point, went to my bedroom and laid in bed and I cried myself to sleep because I knew what the morning was going to be coming with. And I woke up 2 hours later. Yes, I took what was essentially a nap because at that point, like, there was no sleeping. So I woke up and I kind of laid there for a few minutes because I knew that, like, I didn't want to face reality. And then my buddies had woken up and they had saw my messages, so they started messaging me. So I got up and I opened, like, the bedroom door because I closed it. I knew, and I didn't want, like, Cali to come in my room. I wanted to be alone. Like, because I knew what was happening down in the basement, and it broke my heart. And so, I opened my bedroom door, but I had that, like, last bit of hope that, like, maybe, you know, he had turned it around and he'd be there. But, like, when I opened the door, only Cali was there. And then, I went in the kitchen, and, I put a bowl of food down for her, knowing that he wasn't coming. And then, I went back to my bedroom, and I cried for a little while. And then I got up and I went looking for his body. And it took me a little bit because he had hidden himself under the basement stairs where there were some storage items. So I had to move some stuff around and I found him underneath the spare couch that I had stored under there from when I bought the house. So I took a picture of him and I sent him to my buddies and confirmed his passing. And I went in the basement living room and I cried for a while. And then I saw my buddy at some point. He woke up and saw me, and so I let him know what was going on. And then thankfully, my two buddies volunteered to come over and help me because I can't imagine how difficult it would have been on me to try to do all of the things that we did by myself. Because I got most of that basement area unburied. Because, like, there's a couple of dead dryers down there that, like, my stepdad needs to come fucking get already. Like, I threatened him the other day about it. And there was the storage items, like the extra furniture and a couple boxes and stuff. So it took me a little bit to Tetris my way to the bottom of the pyramid where he was at. But I couldn't lift the furniture by myself without hitting his body. So I needed the second person there to kind of, like, help carry the load getting it out of that area. Because there wasn't a lot of maneuverability room and whatnot. So we got the furniture out and exposed his body. And I took the blanket that you guys would always see me wearing on my shoulders when we would do these recordings and stuff, and I used it to wrap his body up, and we put him in a bag. I didn't really look at him when I did it, like it was too much, so I wrapped him up as quickly as I could, and his body had clearly, like, rigor mortis. So that, like, his paws and stuff were standing, kind of like when you see a scared cat, like a Halloween photo, but, like, he was laying on his side doing it. So I wrapped him up as best I could, and this is where, like, having the second person helped, because, like, I was able to just lift him up and put him directly into the bag, whereas, like, if it was just me trying to do it, I would have had to have wrapped him up and then, like, carried him with one arm like a football, and then tried to hold the bag with the other arm, and it would have sucked ass, and it would have made the whole process even more intolerable than it was. So I had decided to bury him because I didn't really have like a plan of sorts. You know, this is honestly the first time I had ever had to deal with a dead animal, like a dead pet myself. Like growing up, it was always like my grandmother or my parents or whatever that took care of it. Like I never personally had to deal with it. So speak of the devil, and one shall appear. Cali's now in my face. That's the thing. Since this all happened, she will not go away. It's like her personality suppressant is gone, and now she won't leave me alone. I had decided we were going to try and bury him in the backyard because, like, I would never throw out, like, a pet. Like, they're like a member of my family. So to me, it's like, I would want to bury them, you know, in their home. So we tried to, like, dig a hole behind the garage, but it was like we couldn't get anywhere because every time we tried to dig a hole, there was just tree roots. So, I finally had to, like, make a decision because there was nowhere else in the yard we could put him. Like, if we put him in the right yard, we'd hit roots and or, like, mud, and eventually his body would come up from the mud. And then, like, there was really nowhere around I didn't want to do it around the house because there was no real good spots. And so I came in the house and I started Googling pet cremation. And I found a company, and I called, honestly, expecting to just get, like, a voicemail. But, like, someone picked up after, like, 2 rings, and I told him what had happened. And he told me what they do and what they offer and all that. And so I was like, okay, that's cool. And he ended up having a guy in my area. Like, he said dispatch, like, almost like they got, like, taxi drivers around or something. But he had a guy at my house within 30 minutes of the phone call. So this guy shows up, and he took the bag with Smokey wrapped up in the blanket, and he put him in a box, and I basically decided to obviously have him cremated, but I bought, like, a box that's engraved with his name, and I got his paw print done in plaster with his name on it. And so he took him on Sunday afternoon, and then me and my 2 buddies, we went out to lunch because I hadn't eaten and I hadn't slept. So it was like 3 o'clock in the afternoon around this time. So, you know, I got dressed and we went, and I had barbecue, this Mission barbecue place for the first time. And then they dropped me off at home, and I laid in bed, and Cali eventually came in bed. Like, I came home and I was watching Netflix because I was supposed to go to this movie the next night, this Demon Slayer movie the next day, and I hadn't finished the first season yet. So I had to come home and watch, like, 9 episodes of Demon Slayer so that I could understand what was happening in the movie the next day. And, you know, I had to take a couple cry breaks, you know, to get through, but I ended up staying up until about 11:30, and just so like I can make sure that my sleep schedule didn't get completely obliterated. So I went to sleep about 11:30, and then I had already at that point, like in the evening, had made up my mind that I was going to call off from work the next day. Yeah, because I knew that, like, I was going to be an emotional wreck in the morning. 2, they were supposed to bring me his remains at some point that day. 3, I had to go to the liquor store because I had won a bottle. My name had gotten pulled in the Ohio bottle lottery, and I had, like, a week to pick it up, and that Monday was the last fucking day I had before I forfeited my winning. 3, I was supposed to go to that movie in the evening, so my whole day was just going to be like a clusterfuck of things. So I texted my boss, and I was like, hey, buddy, my cat's son passed away yesterday, and I got to deal with his remains today, and I'm just not emotionally in a good spot. I'm like, so I'm just not going to be on today. So I was laying in bed because I called off at, like, probably about 8:15. And, like, 5 minutes later, the cremation lady calls me, and she's like, okay, he's ready to come home. And I'm thinking, goddamn, like, must not be a lot of pets passing away because that's, like, express service. So she's like, oh, I'll be there. Like, she's like, when will you be home? I'm like, oh, I'm here all day. So she's like, okay, I'll be there in a little bit. I'll let you know when I'm there. And I'm like, all right. And then, like, she was at my house, like, 25 minutes later. Like, I hadn't even gotten out of bed yet. So I had to throw on a shirt and go meet this lady at the front door. And this is the thing about, like, these services that, like, I understand that it's, like, part of their their business and like whatnot. But it's really weird to have complete strangers trying to console me, like about the death of a pet, in like such a like I'm trying to be caring way, but like I don't know you.
Yeah.
So it's like this odd like forced sympathy.
I don't want to think it's forced because because they work in it, they just feel it. You know what I'm saying?
It would have to be hard to be sympathetic every day for your job, I would think.
I think they're used to it.
Maybe,
but
Maybe
I
they
think
just have the right people.
yeah.
Especially like in these days and times, I think she's probably like, if this was like another year, it probably would have felt and been more genuine. I think greeting people you don't know nowadays, people just don't know to fist bump you, elbow. Like the whole Corona thing is just throwing shit off.
Yeah. Well, she came and he was like the stuff was in a little baggie and whatnot and like a gift bag, you know. Like, it's weird to say, but yeah, it was like in like a gift bag and so I took it all out of the bag and I put it on the table and I took a picture and I put it on Instagram and which I hadn't posted Instagram in a year and I broke that for this, but I still didn't post on Facebook. But I took the picture of his box with his ashes, and they burned the blanket with him too. So the blanket is in there with him, and I had one of those like ugly cry sessions where for like 6 solid minutes, I just sat on the couch by myself and like I made weird noises and I choked and I cried and like. Because it was weird. It's weird, man. It was like you get so used to like someone or an animal or whatever the case may be. Like there's certain routines and things that happen and like stuff you look for. Like the first couple times I opened the side door of the house, like I turned to look at the doorway because he'd always come running to try and run outside. And those first couple times were like he wasn't there. And then like I don't have to put the oven mitt on the kitchen sink anymore because I don't have to worry about anyone trying to turn the fucking water on. Yeah, and like there's no one that comes like to try and watch me poop or like he doesn't come running on my bed anymore when I'm getting dressed. You know, it's so it took a little getting used to all that. You know, like. Not see him in the cat tree anymore and shit. Like, it was real tough for like the first week, and this is actually the first time I've cried since that day that I got his ashes. Like, things kind of like started to have a little bit of normalcy about them again. But like I put like the box right now. It's on the entertainment stand over here in the living room. I haven't like really gotten the downstairs all together yet, but I figure I'll put him down there by his quote unquote spot. But I've gotten more used to looking at the ashes box and the little paw print when I'm working, so like it doesn't really like crush my soul anymore. But yeah, like all those little things are still tough. But you know, one day at a time. But then. So, I was dealing with that the majority of last week, and then on Thursday, my mom texted me to tell me that my grandmother's heart wasn't doing so well, and they thought she might have pneumonia, so they took her to the hospital, and she was in ICU, and while in there, they decided to put a pacemaker in her heart, or in her, so to try and stabilize her, because her heart wasn't beating enough to keep her healthy. I guess she had a infection in her intestines or something, and it was a mess of shit. Like it was like she was sick, but you couldn't tell until it got really bad or whatever, that kind of deal. So she has a pacemaker now, and you know, that was last weekend. I let my little brother stay here on Saturday night. So funny thing, I go to that Demon Slayer movie on Monday, and then you know. After my mom texts me about my grandmother and giving me updates, she then turns around and goes, "Oh, hey, would you want to go see a movie with your little brother on Saturday?" And she goes, it's a cartoon movie. And I go, is it called Demon Slayer? And she goes, yeah. And I go, I already saw it. She goes, oh, well, he wants to go see it. I'm like, well, have his dad take him. And she tells me that his dad, my stepdad, is getting his second COVID shot the day before that, and he doesn't think he'll feel well enough, which in my mind means he doesn't want to do it. So I felt bad about him not being able to go see this movie, so what did I do? I took him to see the movie, and then I let him spend the night at my house.
Yeah. How old is your little brother now?
Same age as my youngest. They're the same age.
Yeah, like he's
13,
like he
14, right?
He just got accepted into St. Ignatius.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's about to be in high school. So whatever age that is. 12, 13, something like that.
Yeah, 13 going on 14.
Yeah, sounds about right.
My kid wants to see that movie too. So I
Well, I've seen it twice now. Subbed and dubbed.
Aren't you the one? Aren't you the Renaissance man?
I tried to sleep through it the second time. Because, like, it's a good movie, but, like, I honestly didn't want to be there. Truth be told, I wanted to be at home watching the draft. I don't know why my dumbass really having a heart agreeing to that shit, because I was supposed to be at home. I already had plans. It was an extension of the reason why I wasn't on this show last week.
Yeah.
But I gave up my shit anyway, and I did all that. And then I brought him home. I made dinner. I cooked him some good steak and Brussels sprouts. He says he doesn't like Brussels sprouts now, and he tried to put hot sauce on my steak, so fuck him. And
no.
And then, like, I'm like thinking, like, okay, he want to spend the night over here. I'm like, you want to watch a movie or something? And he goes, no. I'm like, do you like this show? No. I'm like, all right, well. Then he starts talking to me about his little Oculus headset, and I'm like, yeah, dude, I don't fuck with the headset shit. I'm like, that's not my bag. And then, like, he just goes and vanishes and comes back in the living room. Like, I've been watching TV and getting the food ready, and he goes, oh, yeah, I went in the basement and I hooked my PlayStation up to your projector. And I'm like, who the fuck told you could do that? Yeah, see, that's the thing. He comes over here and he thinks because it's my house that, like, he can just do whatever the fuck he wants and he doesn't have to ask. I'm like, that don't mean shit. Like, you know, like, I'm not the only person that lives here. Just because this is my house doesn't mean that, like, everything in here is mine. Like, you know, if, like, you're gonna, like, go in the fridge and start trying to drink shit and chick shit, you need to ask. You know? So, at that point, I'm like, well, fuck it. Like, he don't really want to be over here and spend time with me. He just wants to come over here and use my shit. So, fuck it. I'm going to go in the living room and I put on TV. I think I watched, I want to say Mighty Ducks, and then I think I put a movie on or something. No, because you know I got that Mighty Ducks show on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
But then, like, so, like, I had told my friends that, like, I couldn't play Call of Duty that night because, like, you know, I was going to be entertaining my youngest brother here on a sleepover. And then motherfucker ditched me to go play PlayStation in my basement, so when they hit me up at, like, 11:45 at night, and they're like, hey, you want to play Call of Duty? And I'm like, fuck it. All right, yeah, I'm in, because fuck him. Like, he left me. I'm going to go in my room and play Call of Duty. So I went in my bedroom, and I played Call of Duty until 3:30 in the morning, and then I went to bed at about 4, got up in the morning, did the dishes, ate some breakfast, and then I was like, hey, put your shit in your bag. I'm taking you home. So I took him back to my mom's house, and then my stepdad held me there hostage until my mom finally showed up. So then her and I talked, and then we had a conversation about her plans for when my grandmother inevitably passes away. Apparently, she is not getting a burial. She will be cremated, and, well, she's getting a burial of sorts, apparently. She'd be cremated. My mom's plan is to have her cremated, and some ashes given to me and my brothers, and then her remains, ashes, I guess, will be buried with her parents in Calgary Cemetery. So I have that to look forward to someday. I'm starting my little ash collection here in the house, apparently. And then I spent the rest of this week working and trying to coordinate a lawn care program with a company, a roof job for a new garage roof with a roofing company, trying to get my gutter stuff repaired so I get this water damage repaired. Because that was the other thing. It rained last week, and then it started leaking water in my fucking living room ceiling again. So, yeah, I've had a wild up and down 2 weeks, and I'm doing my damnedest to try and keep it together.
Now, where's your grandma at now?
See, I don't know, because once I was told she had the pacemaker, the updates stop. My mom has not texted me anymore, and even my grandma's in the hospital. I can't visit because COVID. They would only let one visitor in, and that was my mother. So even though I am 100% vaccinated, I am still bound by the laws of our government and will not be allowed to visit my grandmother. So what was the point of being vaccinated?
Yeah, that's some horse shit.
I even have the little card that's not fake that says that I have it. But that's not good enough.
Oh my god. Well, I don't know. Hopefully she's being taken care of well. I know you worry about her at your mom's house. So,
I mean, I imagine if she passed away, I would have gotten a text by now.
Well, it's more just that I know. I you know what I'm saying. She's if she's being taken care of well, I you know what I'm saying, at wherever facility she's at, you know what I'm saying, and looking out for her and feeding her right and so forth. Good Lord. That was a plate full, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. But until we get by, I will before we get to Gabe's post, just run you through my situation. Like I said, besides my brother having the Rona, life is going decent enough. I got to celebrate my 2 weeks post second shot, meaning I am considered fully vaccinated, by doing exactly what I told you I was going to do, and that was drive down to Columbus to go see Scott Pilgrim in Dolby Digital Deluxe. Same theater we saw Endgame in. Same theater Gabe and I saw the 300 in years ago, and it was fucking amazing. And I was super excited to have done it. But it also turned out to be a bit of it's my first road trip in a new car, and it was kind of like a dry run, if you will, because the next day I had to drive my partner to Syracuse, New York. Her best friend was due any moment, and she was to be there, not to be in the hospital per se, but present for this child's arrival to help out with her friend's pets and stuff and so forth. So one day I drove to Columbus and back, and the next day I drove to Syracuse and back, and it was great. It's the new car handles really well, and your boy was out there on these highways doing some things, and I was just like, whew. That's why you keep Waze though, because they tell you when cops is around. Because man, I was out there a couple times, I was like, that's too fast, baby.
How fast did you go?
Just 90, nothing. I didn't hit triple digits or nothing. But getting up to 90 and not noticing you was up at 90, man, I could have crossed over at any moment now. So I was like, whoa, slow your shit down, dog.
I've had some times where, like, when I was coming back from the Browns Bengals game in Cincinnati last year,
yeah,
I was definitely doing like 105 at one point.
Oh yeah, you see, you can
you get like wide open space in front of you, and you're just like going, and you have no frame of reference because there's no other cars, and before you know it, yeah, you're doing over 100.
But the thing, so on this journey, it was not wide open at all, because you know what it is. You know how nice. Literally, to get to Syracuse is 90 all the way there. At one point, I dip off and it becomes, I believe, 490, but it is just 90 all the way there. And so it is indeed a straight shot, but it was super busy on the roads. I played Shake and Bake a couple of times with a couple of vehicles, and I love doing that. When we just get out there, we just got each other's back. Like, all right, you gonna take front for a little bit? All right, swing it around. I'm taking up front right now for a little bit. And I was explaining to Xander how that works, is because like you get a good partner out there on the highway for a while. It's dope because they'll slow their roll with a cop. If they see a cop before you do, you return the favor, and you just get out there and you hit the ground running, man. And so it felt good to get out there and drive, and it's my first road trip again post pandemic, and that just felt good. I love driving. I love road trips. And this one was short enough where I wasn't a broken man. You feel me? Sometimes Roach, she'd be like, my ass hurt, my hips ain't working right, whatever. But this one, I felt fine. I felt good. I got her there. I hung out with them damn dogs. Her friend has 3 dogs. One of them is a goddamn direwolf. I swear to fucking God, it's the biggest fucking fluffy ass dog you ever want to see. It's actually a very specific breed. I don't know what it is, but that motherfucker is huge. And just the most chill of all of them. The other 2 was a little smaller, you know what I'm saying, and loud mouths. But that one was just like, woof, woof, thank you. Yes, you're in my home now. And of course, they all settle down once I sit. It's just, I'm tall, you know, I'm taller than any of their family, and I'm black. So they like, what is this big dark thing doing in my house? What is happening here? So I have to, you know what I'm saying, I have to sit to bring my height down. And then they're like, oh, you cool. All right, I'm all right with you, man. And, as we traveled, her friends, her contractions were increasing at some point, and then they were like, okay, they're gonna break her water, and like by the time we got to the house, maybe just a little bit after we got there, baby was there. Water broke. 25 minutes later, baby arrived. No drugs. I was word up to her for coming through. You know what I'm saying? Because it was just how it flows sometimes. It's like, God damn, you a beast. Because, man, baby, she wildin'. I believe the kid was like 8 pounds and some change, which made me chuckle because when Xander was born, he was 8 pounds, 8 ounces. So I always had that in my mind. 8 pounds, 8 ounces on the 8th is how I remember my kid's arrival. But it's the first time my partner's been away for a very long time. So she was kind of in a state. She's like, I don't know if I'm ready for this. I'm like, it's cool. Like, you get to be here. You get to be present in your best friend's life to welcome their kid to home. You know what I'm saying? You get to be the cool aunt and so forth, and you get to hold the baby and kick it and so forth. And she got it together. You know what I'm saying? She just has anxiety. We talked about it before on the show before. She has super duper anxiety, and she was feeling wildly anxious without me. But she got together, tightened it up, and was pretty much better by the time everything had worked itself out. You know what I'm saying? By the time I got to Erie from Syracuse, she was okay. Yeah.
How long is it the drive from here to Syracuse?
Syracuse about 5.5, and if you whip it just right, you can probably get it down a little further. So. It was interesting being in upstate New York. I hadn't been to that part of upstate New York. Is a decent enough area. Syracuse is, I mean, I get it. It's a big city, but it's not a big city. It's a college town, and but they had a Tops there. And my OGs around the way, my locals know what Tops is. It used to be Finest before Giant Eagle bought them all and called them bitches Giant Eagle in this neck of the woods. But it was a Tops there, and I went to go to Tops. I went to Tops with the one mission and one mission only, and that was a butterscotch muffin. Because nobody sells them hoes in this. Well, in that case, they call them hoes butterscotch.
Okay.
But believe me, it's the same goddamn muffin. And it was a pleasure to wake up the next morning having been home, to throw that bitch in the microwave 30 seconds, hit it with some butter, and be like, fuck yeah, I have missed you.
I haven't had a butter, well, in our case, a butter rum muffin in over a year. Like sometimes I used to treat myself and get one from Dave's on West 25th. Mm-hmm. I guess I will let that die with us not being in that building no more.
Yeah, but it was good. I heard she ended up taking a Greyhound home, which I was not too happy about, but whatever. And for whatever reason, the way the Greyhound traveled, it was like. The last stop before coming to Cleveland was in Akron, and she's like, "You just come get me from Akron." I'm like, "Yeah, I'll just come get you from Akron," because it's like an hour layover in Akron, and then the trip from Akron to Cleveland. By the time it was way easier for me to just go collect her. Akron's Greyhound station is also their regular bus station. Also, any buses that seem to kick it in Akron area terminus right there, and it's a very nice station. So I got to give it up to her for that. It's a very lovely little spot.
Did you get church's chicken while you was in Akron?
I did not. I was starving, dog. I was so hungry, but then she had just got off the damn the bus, so she was tired and shit. So
she went and found a Fazoli's.
We saw a sign for Fazoli's and talked about it, and I was like, Nah, I'm gonna say that because that's supposed to be our next little deal. We supposed to go hit up this podcast is supposed to hit up facilities and get our breadsticks on. So that's for us. But yeah, man, it was a wild good time, and I don't know. I like driving. I like taking road trips. I'm saying I popped, like I said, I told y'all earlier, popped in my memory today. Our road trip happened 4 years ago when we went down to D.C. with the intention of going to Maryland, but then Hagerstown, but we ended up just pushing on down the road to D.C. and getting our Ted's Bulletin on and recording the show. We recorded the show live at that Ted's Bulletin. We had a good waiter that night and everything, didn't we? So that was a fun experience. And as we near our 8th show anniversary here, we got to figure out what the fuck we gonna do and how we gonna do it. But I'm just in general, it's just dope. I just like it, and I feel good, and I'm feeling good about being vaccinated. I have to keep convincing myself that it's okay. You're vaccinated. Relax. It's like you're not gonna get it, and you're not gonna give it, and it's okay. And I'm like, okay, cool, man. And so now, like, I recognize that they say if you're outside, you don't have to wear a mask. So now I'm like, I get outside from like the theater, and I'm like, I immediately snatch my mask. I'm like, fuck it, because I don't gotta wear it. Because one, I'm outside, and two, I'm vaccinated. And I'm like, that's a good feeling. And I'm not knocking motherfuckers who rock masks outside. That's cool. Rock your level of comfort, but CDC says I don't have to wear a mask outside because COVID infections outside are not something that you have to worry about because, it's a goddamn planet and the wind blows and so you're good. Also, I'm vaccinated. So I'm okay with that, man. I wish the power of vaccination could get you into the hospital if need be to see your gram, and that's I can't call it, man. That's upsetting. But that's me. That's my little tale right now, man. And now the ODP has popped back up on the screen. We slide over to him for his segment. Yeah, because all of a sudden it became his segment, and that's just what it is.
Yes, as SKiM Goes Hollywood. We decided to do this weekly where we discuss a movie, and as the aforementioned Scott Pilgrim versus the World, we are going to discuss. It is about this guy, Scott Pilgrim, is a slacker musician who has to battle the 7 exes of his newest girlfriend, Ramona Flowers, to win her affection. It stars Michael Cera and
my favorite,
Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
the lady that made everybody feel bad about the
fappening.
Yeah.
Yep. I was just about to say that. Like, she ruined the fappening for me by giving me my fucking conscience.
Yeah.
Do I have to include that in my review?
You did already.
You can hold it against her if you want. It's our review. We'll do what we want. So I'm gonna let the man who's seen it most recently give his take first.
So this Dolby Digital re-release, 10th anniversary release is. Look, I had to drive about 2 hours away to go see it, and I'm telling you right now, it's worth you driving 2 hours away to go see this movie in that presentation. It was I've seen this movie in theaters. This is the third time I've seen it in theaters. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. It's in my top 10, maybe my top 5. I was considering that actually at a point I want to discuss with y'all here as we go on. It's everything I love. Video games, music, and movies, and comics, all in one package by a director whose work I enjoy, with actors who is an Oscar award winner in this movie. Feel me? That's how crazy it goes down with that fucking movie. Lots of superheroes are in this movie and shit, and it's like. I fucking loved it, but this presentation was amazing. The sound was insane. The quality of the image is ridiculous. I started playing the Blu-ray tonight. I didn't bother trying to fire it up on Netflix. I was like, let me just grab this Blu-ray off the shelf, and it's missing the visual punch that this new presentation has, and I cannot wait for an appropriate 4K release, which is supposed to come with this. You know what I'm saying? We get this theater release, and then we'll get a 4K Blu-ray release, and I'm very excited about that. because I'm a man about I'm about that quality and so forth. It's a great movie, man. I truly love it. I know, I know that everybody, many people who watch be like, man, Scott a real dick, but it's like if you watch it, Scott's going through it, and he's trying to get over his ex that really fucked his heart up. You know what I'm saying? Who cheated on him and left him and so forth, and it's like they try to shit on him like Scott Pilgrim's dating a high schooler. It's like Scott Pilgrim really was more hanging out with a high schooler, but it was to that high schooler's, it was not good to do that to her because it kind of fucked her heart up. But it's like Scott Pilgrim wasn't really dating nobody. He was more hanging out with a high schooler and like the way she made him feel like a smarter, more, worldly man and so forth. And like I said, I love that movie so much. Again, I started watching it tonight just to like keep it fresh in my brain. And I was like, I could watch this whole movie right now. I could just go through it and watch it again right now. It's up there with the movies that I can just always watch. And again, one of my favorite movies of all time, and it's so good. It's so good to see it. It's so much fun, and I would tell you to watch it. I just would.
It's kind of interesting though how he went from like a high schooler with no experience to a woman with like the most experience imaginable.
But then not really. Like I said, as you go through it, like the one kid she kissed in like 7th grade. The one guy they went out for like what I'm saying, it's like. She has 7 exes, but there's no real life, experience with them. You know what I'm saying? It's just, what I'm saying, she dated them, and it's just her last boyfriend before Scott was a dickbag who formed a league of evil exes. It's like that shit is wild. But you're right. It's like he goes from the utterly no experience Knives Chow. Oh my god, everything about that shit when he goes, her name is Knives Chow. And he turns his face, she's Chinese. And I love it, you know what I'm saying? Because the way he does that, it's just like cool. I dig it, man. And I like it when at the end he says Chow Knives, because the Knives Chow is just dumb, but I get it. And she's like, I don't know, I love that actress too. It's just like so much fun. Yeah, I love this movie a lot, as you can tell.
It's a good flick. I can't think of anything much wrong with it. I don't know if I call it my favorite top 10 of all time, but yeah. I had a good time watching it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, it's an enjoyable movie. Like, I've sat through and watched it, like, from beginning to end, like, twice, I would say. And then I've caught, like, bits and pieces here and there, like, on TV and stuff. I never saw it in theaters or anything like that, because I didn't even know what the hell it was when it came out. Like, I didn't know it was based off a comic book or anything like that. I just knew it was a movie that came out, and people said it was good. So eventually I watched it. I do find it amazing that how Michael Cera outkicks his coverage in the movie. Like, that's the ugly man's dream. Some of the stuff's funny and the effects are cool and stuff. Yeah. So, like, there's not really much that I could find that like I could like necessarily find a shit on the movie about or anything. Like, no real criticisms of any kind. Like, it's just a pretty solid movie.
I love Brie Larson singing in that movie. I hate the album version of that song because it's not Brie Larson singing it. So whenever I want to listen to Black Sheep, I go just hit the YouTube video, or like I said, it's on the Blu-ray as well. And I just watch that version of the song because it's a considerably better version of the song to me. It sounds better with her singing it and so forth. Again, Oscar award winner Brie Larson, Captain Motherfucking Marvel herself, plays Envy Adams, his ex-girlfriend. Natalie is her real name, and I like when he calls her Natalie when the last time he sees her, and she goes, "No one calls me Natalie anymore," and it kind of fucks her head up a little bit, and I'm like, yeah, that's pretty dope, you Mr. Pilgrim. So, but yeah, man, it's a good time. Have you seen Scott Pilgrim? You watched?
Of course.
Yeah, you fuck with Edgar Wright, so I know you. I would think you.
Well, of course, I like the movie. I like Edgar Wright. I, at this point in my life, am a man who's I can say once upon a time was a film buff, but doesn't get to sit down and watch movies, except for, like, I guess for this podcast. And I was like, oh, well, I gotta watch this. The guy said I got to. So, like, Scott Pilgrim is a movie that, like, I'll put on, for when you want to see something cool. I enjoy it. I own it on Blu-ray. I think I own all that guy's movies on Blu-ray, except for that last Alien movie he made.
I do not have World's End, and I don't have Baby Driver.
Oh yeah, I love Baby Driver is pretty good, but I like Scott Pilgrim. I don't have anything bad to say about it, or it's a very, very solid movie. It is the kind of movie like T stated before, like the visual and the sound, it ticks all those little check marks you want to say. Like if you got a new TV, it's a good film to put on that new TV.
Yeah, that's definitely a reference quality film on at least on a 1080p display. Like I said, I can't wait. I am excited about this 4K re-release coming out because I think it's really gonna show all out. The sound on the Blu-ray is actually really, really solid, but it was something about seeing it in the theater again. Like I said, that was just like what a hell of a presentation, and like I said, and also this is my first time in the theater since March of last year. I saw last movie I saw in the theater was what's that Pixar movie with the trolls? Outward, you know what? Some shit. Yeah, that motherfucker. That was the last movie I saw in the theater, and I'm glad that was not the last movie I saw in the theater because good lord, that's a terrible, not terrible, it's just not a great way to end it.
It was weird sitting in the movie theater again. Like, did Star Wars come out after Joker, or did it come out the year before that?
Ooh, when did Skywalker come out? Rise of Skywalker. God, I hated that movie.
Rise of Skywalker is bad? I still haven't seen it.
Awful. 2019, Rise of Skywalker, Joker.
Okay, so that was before quarantine then. So Joker came out around Halloween.
Yeah.
Okay, so the last movie I had seen in theaters prior to this past week was Rise of Skywalker. I hadn't been in a movie theater in like almost a year and a half. It was weird sitting there, like I felt like I time traveled or something. Like, one, the seats were a little more snug since quarantine. That was apparent. But two, like it felt weird. Like I felt like I had like gone missing in my mind for a while, and all of a sudden things were kind of like back to normal.
Yeah.
But like it felt like amnesia, like something was missing. But I know there's nothing missing because I've been like awake for this whole thing. It just feels like there's like a gap in my mind now, you know?
That is what I felt about this. It's like it's a whole last year, but because nothing happened in that whole last year, it's just like a skip year. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a whole last year, but not a goddamn thing happened. But then,
it's almost like we blipped, but we didn't blip. We were here for it all.
Yep, exactly. You know what I'm saying? We got Thanos snap, but stayed here for it. So it's like. I
had this conversation like 2 days ago that I was talking about how I felt like Thanos was correct in his thesis, but his approach was poor. That maybe if he really wanted to accomplish his goal, he probably would have received less resistance if when he got the gauntlet, if instead of snapping away half the population, if he just snapped and gave half the population like the inability to reproduce, then it would have accomplished his goal over time, and no one would have had to have died.
Or, and I heard this on somebody's podcast the other day, if that's your beef that you think it's not enough stuff to go around and you got a, instant wish thing, just wish there's enough stuff to go around. The resources are doubled now. Cool, we all good.
You'd have to make more planets then.
Yeah, I was just about to say, if you would have to make another planet.
Yeah,
that's true.
My point saying, he has this wish gauntlet that can do anything. That's
Earth 2.
Then do that. You just
I guess like maybe you could create more planets and put them on the same axis, or the same rotation, but just put them on the opposite. So, but then like what they just
No, don't dig that deep. He had a magic wish gauntlet that could do whatever he wanted to do, assuming that just works like it's supposed to. It's not a genie. We don't gotta get her. It's not gonna play you. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna sucker you. It just means, okay, double the resources.
I don't know. I mean, for years he was committing genocide before. He got
yeah.
the Infinity Stones.
Let's just be real. Thanos, an evil dick.
But
Like,
I was talking to my girlfriend the other day, and I was saying like, man, Killmonger wasn't wrong though.
Sympathetic villains are a thing for the Marvel universe,
and that's kind of like what we were talking about. Is because like I'd watched Endgame again the other day while I was working, and then we were talking about. I don't remember what my group was talking about exactly, but I remember saying something to the effect of history is written by the victors. So then we got into the conversation about like how Thanos' thesis wasn't wrong, but his approach was like what doomed him in the end. And then Killmonger. Someone brought up Ghost from Ant-Man, how like she was doing shit, but she was just trying to preserve herself. So it's like these people weren't necessarily bad or start out as bad. It's just the other people won, so like they get labeled as bad. Like Thanos removed half the population, and fucking whales got to swim in the Hudson River again, and everything was starting to thrive. We just had some sad people for a little while. If people had just left it alone, then when they come back, we wouldn't have 5 billion people or whatever that like didn't have somewhere to live. They fucked themselves. They should have just left Thanos do his thing. They should have let Ghost have her body back. They should have let Killmonger have Wakanda. It's bullshit.
Like the whole storyline behind like Transformers. Like at the root of it, Megatron wasn't wrong. Like he went to this planet to get resources, and then Optimus Prime was like, "No, man, you can't have resources from here." And he like, "Why not? I'm a big ass robot." They little.
Yeah, that's one.
Like
one thing I haven't gotten about Transformers is why does Optimus want to protect everybody that's not a Transformer? Where is this like this whole like holier than thou?
He caping.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. Like you fucking hate your own kind enough to like bring about your extinction over some motherfuckers that you don't know.
Yeah, you don't even know us like
Megatron and his people were sucking up the resources on their planet. Had they not been doing that, we could have been cool. So then he sucks up all the resources on his planet. He sucks up all the resources on his planet, and then it's like, well, fuck it, I'm gonna go suck some resources on another planet. That's bitch-made behavior. Optimus Prime knew that, recognized it as such, and was like, I can't have that. You can be disrespecting Optimus Prime on my motherfucking watch. Hell no.
All I'm saying is,
man, survival of the fittest.
Yeah, like I kind of feel like I don't know. I mean, yeah, I can see both sides, but Optimus Prime didn't need to be like down here, like, yeah, I'm gonna take you out of this strip club, baby. I
mean, just think about it. Like if Megatron wins, then they get to write the history books as we were trying to keep our civilization going and alive, and we had this rebel over here that was trying to end us. He was kind of like the anti-Thanos or something. Like actually, no, like Megatron is like Thanos, except he's not trying to kill like everybody, just somebody.
And in the end, he got thrown out of a fucking jet and then made into a Galvatron by a planet-eating robot. There's a lot going on in that story.
Yeah. Where I come from, we call that a glow-up.
He did get longer weave.
Oh, shit.
Talk about Marvel villains who weren't wrong. Was Ultron wrong? I know he wanted... His end goal was horrible, but
that's because he saw how shitty humans were.
He was going to
pretty much.
He was going to drop a piece of a country big enough to basically cause the extinction of the entire planet. What the fuck is y'all problem? Is y'all rooting for these bad guys? Y'all
I didn't root for Ultron. That was the one thing I didn't do.
All I'm saying is, like, I can see where he was coming from.
He's like, humans are destroying themselves. Why don't I just help them out?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
5 seconds on the internet, and he's like, oh, fuck them.
Anyway.
So, Scott Pilgrim stays crunchy.
Yes. Oh, yes. Yes. Scott Pilgrim does stay crunchy.
Fact.
It's got no real flaws. It's just a really enjoyable movie.
I really do love watching it, and what I was going to say was as I sat here churning in my head, I was like, is Scott Pilgrim my top 5 or my top 10 movies? It is one of my favorite movies ever. But then I started running down the line of my top movies. My number one movie is a recent entry to that number one is Endgame. Endgame fucked me up in such a good way that I felt fine. I feel fine about saying it's my favorite movie. Every fucking they rolled that new Phase 4 trailer earlier this week, right? And they show in the theater Avengers Assemble on your left. Every time, still tears, straight tears. It takes me to fucking tears still, and I'm like, that movie. I know some people was like, it's just a stupid superhero movie, but it's affecting, and it was the the culmination of so many years and so many movies, and it's affecting of me, and it just does. So that's
I still cry after he snaps the gauntlet, and then he's laying there and he's just staring and he can't talk. And then they cut to the lake and they pan by and everyone's just standing there in black suits and everything, like mourning him.
Yeah.
I still cry. I cried at that like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. So
I respect the hell out of Martin Scorsese as a filmmaker, but I'm be damned before I listen to a motherfucker who hasn't seen one Marvel film criticize the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
He criticizes the universe?
Yeah, he's talking shit
about.
He
said it's almost nothing but roller coaster. What did he say?
Something in that vein. That it's just all like just all amusement rides or whatever.
One, roller coasters are fun. Two, you haven't seen any of the movies. What are you talking about? You can't criticize movies you haven't seen.
I'm not gonna go with a roller coaster rule of thumb, but I do go with an old people rule of thumb about a lot of shit. Like once you get past a certain age, I hear you, but I don't listen to you. Like, it's a lot of old. Like, it's just like when you get past a certain age, like it's just a couple things. Like you can't once you get past a certain age, you can't complain about young people's music. You can't complain about their clothes and like in their entertainment because you just don't understand it. I'm almost to that age where it's just like, you know what? That's what y'all want to do. Y'all want to wear elastic shoes that look like socks. Hey, go ahead, brother. I can't say nothing. Now, like I was listening to something on NPR, and it's like, you know what's back? Big pants. No more skinny jeans. Make your pants big again. And I was just like, am I gonna wear bigger pants now?
After all this COVID weight, I can get behind that.
Like, it's just like old people. Like I remember, I'm like, come on, man. If you gotta start a sentence with "I pay taxes" or "I remember when," just leave me the fuck alone. Just stop it. And I know I'm getting to that age where I'm gonna start saying "I remember when," so I'm gonna stop talking. But
it's okay.
Yeah, Scorsese, you can still make great films. But your films are still saying nigger in it. So let's just stop. Let's just stop, buddy.
He does brutally kill a lot of black people.
Man, you killed Sam Jackson. He went on to be Nick Fury. That's what happened. And he got shot in the eye in the movie. And he was like, okay, I'm going to continue on as Nick Fury.
That's how it really happened.
Well, Endgame, of course, High Fidelity, The Breakfast Club, The Matrix, and is it Scott Pilgrim? Is it Almost Famous? Is it Days of Confused and so forth? It's like, so I was like, I start like I can just rotate out my fifth easily to a bunch of other movies and things that I fucking just movies that I love that I can always watch. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying they're like, cinematic masterpieces or whatever, but they are movies that have touched me and speak to me. Grosse Point Blank, another one that I really fucking love. I realize that's 2 John Cusack movies and people don't be liking John Cusack, but I mean, whatever, man. I'm just telling you about the movies. And he just a dude people don't like sometimes.
Oh.
So, can't call it. So
I can't keep up.
Well,
everyone's pulling out their dick and...
Who pulled out their dick? I mean, Lunch only got it. The werewolf in the corner was trying to hunt down Lunch, but I don't know. I ain't heard nothing else. If I gotta say, I guess currently my top 5, and like in no particular order, like Step Brothers definitely. Even though like I haven't watched it this year, but a movie.
It's early still.
Huh? It's still
It's
early.
kind of early still.
A movie I watch all the time, and I know like this is on nobody's list, but Death Proof. It's like
Vanessa was just talking about it the other day.
Oh.
So how funny.
It's like one of Quentin Tarantino's, like everybody say how shitty it is, but man, that's such a great movie. And the same lady from Scott Pilgrim's in it. She's not in it very much, but man, such a good movie. I can't say Almost Famous because I watched I did. One of y'all got my DVD.
I got it. I'll get it back to you. I was like, man, you know what I did? When T mentioned Almost Famous, I'm like, I hope Ant doesn't remember I got his DVD still. I'm going to watch it and give it back to him, I swear.
Yeah, I usually watch the untitled version because like when I watch the regular version, I'm like, hey, it's a movie missing to this.
Yeah. Goddamn, Fever Dog is still so good.
Fever Dog,
scratching at my back door.
Front door. I hear you howl. Yeah, that's a good movie. Honestly, right now,
it's not a movie that comes up in discussion a lot either. You know what I'm saying? And it movie came out in you and I's time together. You know what I'm saying? And I never hear nobody talking about it.
Well, it was like 1998 or something like that.
Seriously?
Well, 1999 won. But one movie that we watch all the time as a family is Ragnarok. Ragnarok is my favorite Marvel movie.
It's so good.
I've watched it more times than I can count. My kids love the shit out of that movie.
My son would just say that, like, put on. I'm like, okay.
Oh my God.
But yeah, Marvel movies rule the house. Like, if it's on regular TV, even though like we have Disney Plus or we have the Blu-rays, like if they're on, we'll still watch them. Which is, absolutely nuts. Just like, you gonna put it on TBS right now, and we could watch it on like a platform where it's crystal clear, and
I was listening. There's a couple of podcasts I was listening to, and they was talking wild greasy about Guardians 2, and Guardians 2 again, another one that made me cry.
Man, Guardians 2 is so good.
And I'm like, how you talking wild reckless about this movie? That movie's amazing, but I can't call it.
But when Guardians 3 come out, can I watch it knowing that Star-Lord fucked up so bad? I can't fuck with Chris Pratt in anything. I ain't watched nothing with him in it since then. I can't enjoy him anymore. I don't want to see his face.
I gotta watch Ghost Draft because my man mentioned the movie.
I want to watch Ghost Draft, but I hate Chris Pratt now. Like, he fucked up so bad.
It's that church, man. I'm dead ass. He attends this church out in California, and it's a known entity, and I feel like they have been pulling him in a direction, man. So I'm blaming that church, man.
You blaming the church that he punched Thanos when he shouldn't have? Yeah. I don't know nothing about his I don't know why him and his wife got divorced or nothing like that.
She showed her ass in that Adam Sandler movie.
She did?
Isn't he shacked up with like Arnold Schwarzenegger's daughter now or
they're
something?
Married. He definitely married her. So
he married and had a kid with her. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, I figured out right now my current top 5. Number 1 is Jurassic Park. That one has stood the test of time for me.
Yeah.
And now I feel like over the last couple of years, the other four have kind of changed in some regard. Where Lion King, I think, used to be in the list, but is no longer in the top 5. It has been surpassed by Winter Soldier. So, but I don't really have a like concrete 2 through 5. It's more like they're not placed, but I would say Dark Knight, Empire Strikes Back, Ghostbusters, Winter Soldier round out my top 5 with Jurassic Park.
Fuck with it. God, Empire's so good.
Man, this is a tough one. I have no particular order, but I have 5 movies I would consider my top 5.
Is one of them Scarface?
No. Right. I love Scarface.
I want to say I know how much it means to you. So.
I saw it at a very young age. It really made an impression on me. Too young probably to watch Scarface.
Would you let your kids watch Scarface?
But no.
Not even like the TNT version?
They'd probably get bored. I don't know why I kept interested in it.
How come people don't shit on Al Pacino like they did the dude in Short Circuit or whatever? Like how he was like a white dude playing an Indian dude.
Oh yeah,
but we got an Italian guy playing a Cuban guy.
It's like we didn't start
a Puerto Rican later.
We didn't start shitting on him until well after the fact. Same thing. Nowadays, people are like, "Yeah, this kind of fucked up." That Al Pacino was playing a
Cuban, but Al Pacino didn't do brownface though.
True.
It's true. He didn't color his face.
Like he didn't color his face for either one of the movies. He just used the accent and. Like just like Robert.
So this is like a Tom Cruise Last Samurai situation.
Maybe. Like just like Robert Downey Jr. gets a pass for Tropic Thunder.
And I don't get that. I don't know if it's like an artistic thing or whatever. I'm just trying to understand. I'm not criticizing. I'm not upset. I just don't understand.
He did a good job
because they acknowledged that it was fucked up.
Yes.
In the movie.
You about to cross.
So as long as you say something's fucked up, you can do the fucked up thing? Like, I know this is fucked up, but I'm going to say the N-word real quick just so they know what not to say.
No, you ever notice how, like, okay, so, you have to be a really, really serious actor. Like, when, like, for example, Michael Fassbender in 12 Years a Slave. He goes in and, it seems like other actors like who aren't willing to go there won't do those parts. Like it gotta be.
I'll be honest, man. As a white man, it's real hard for me to like watch slavery movies because that white guilt kicks in real high, and it's hard.
My wife won't watch Mississippi Burning. I told her it's what it's about, and she's like, "Nope." Don't want to watch it.
Strangely,
so I can't.
My wife hasn't seen Mississippi Burning either, and neither have I.
Yeah. So as someone who has a hard time watching those kinds of movies, I can't imagine what it's like as an actor to have to be on set and just start like you're about to say like saying that stuff, but with like such feeling that where like you feel like it's real, you know. But then like turn around and not actually mean that shit. Hopefully.
I mean, I don't. You mess with the wrong actor, they don't lose that shit that day. It's like they might kick you for real or something. You get some method actors, they not gonna stop. What was I listening to? I was listening to some podcast, and they were saying that Lupita Nyong'o, she said she still feels it in her soul. Like she said she still hasn't got over playing that part yet in that movie.
I haven't watched this. But I heard something about some Amazon show that was like, it's like fucked up. Like, I don't know if it was like slavery or something, but something about a chick getting raped and then it's like an abort. I think it's called Them or They or something like that.
Them.
I haven't watched it, but like I heard like it's very polarizing from what I heard. That's all I can say.
Yeah, let's just say I caught a whiff on Black Twitter that Black Twitter was not supporting it.
Well, the thing is, like, Lena Waithe wrote in the. I think she's like a producer on that. It seems like some people on Black Twitter just feels like some of the stuff she produces is like disaster porn. What was the one movie? Queen and Slim. Like she, I don't like. I know she didn't write it. The Beyonce lady directed it, but they were saying like some of the stuff feels like it just pushes past where it should. I haven't watched it yet. I can't judge that. I know I watched a show called The Shy on Showtime, and I felt like they killed a character on the show. I was just like, why? But hey, I'm not. This is the art I make right here on Stage Crunchy and Milk.
It's damn good art, though.
Why don't they why don't we get any feedback, man?
They're so amazed by it. They just like it's perfect. No notes.
They just stop.
You say things like "mommy delicious" and "fly my cat"
and lift my stockings.
Oh my god!
Did I ever tell my top 5? I can't remember now.
You started.
The Big Lebowski.
Oh, yeah.
The Usual Suspects.
Oh man, like I can't watch The Usual Suspects anymore though.
Oh, it got ruined by
Kevin Spacey.
Kevin Spacey.
No, the director.
Oh yeah,
he's fucked up too.
Yeah, Singer.
God, I love that movie.
Is that the movie where they give away the ending at the beginning?
No.
No.
Like, you know what I'm talking about?
Hey,
it's like the dude, like the cops are like they're at the table and there's like an undercover cop amongst them or whatever.
No, that's
Boogie Nights.
Reservoir Dogs.
Is it? Yeah, that's Reservoir Dogs.
Okay.
Which
I've never seen either of them. Then
I need to watch that again because, like, I kind of feel like that's Quentin Tarantino's worst movie. But like, I don't know. Everybody seems to like it, and I need to probably just give it another watch one day.
It's all right. It's not great. I have a Tarantino movie as my top 5. It was Kill Bill Volume 1.
Man, quick aside, like I bought a couch from Wayfair.
A couch?
Yes, a couch from Wayfair, and you know it came in a box, and I had to put it together myself. And it came in a very big box, big enough for me to fit in. And today I did the pie. What's the pie made technique to get out of it when my family take me into the box. And then my son was like, "How'd you get out?" I was like, "The pie made technique," and I showed him how to do it.
If it was one, what happened to that being released as one single movie?
It is in other parts of the world.
Just not our part of the world.
Yeah, the production house thought was like people are not going to be able to handle a movie of this length. But then, oddly enough, like going forward, that shit like Hateful Eight and even Django is relatively long. He's like, fuck that. We put the intermissions in and we gonna go hard.
And like the first Grindhouse was two parts. I mean, and one long movie. Like they did the first movie, you stayed. Man, that was a really good experience.
So he was not standing for having that shit go down like that no more after that. So, and in fact, that one scene that they make black and white when they when she's killing in the dojo. Is he in the dojo? Where is she at when that goes down?
When she get killed?
It's in color everywhere else. You know what I'm saying?
In the church.
No, when she like when she fighting that one.
What's it called? The Crazy 88?
Yeah. That seems
not 88 of them.
It's in color in other regions of the world, so it's like it's just whatever, man.
I thought that was artistic choice. They just
no. That was a we'll call this bitch NC-17 if you don't do something to tone this down.
Oh come on.
Yeah.
Maybe we should take it out of my top 5. They fuck with it.
I mean, it's still a good movie.
Whatever. Yeah. It transcends even though that you know what I'm saying, so it can still be a great movie, a good movie. So So there you go. Interesting. Yeah. Again, thank you, y'all. Just like I said, it hit my mind as I sat there, like I said, just giving myself a refresh tonight, and I was like, huh. What is going on in my top 5 movies right now? And like I said, I know Endgame is it, and I know, and like I said, Endgame is loud in my mind about just. And in fact, that was when I was digging out Scott Pilgrim. I was like, "Ooh, Endgame right there." I might put that in the Xbox or the PlayStation here sooner than later and get at it go again.
And damn,
2 more. I gotta pick a Marvel movie, and it's gotta be Winter Soldier because Winter Soldier and Civil War are so close. I almost want to edge out Civil War. I've seen Civil War more times than Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier still is so damn good,
it's perfect. And it's like, yeah, because I know like the scenery and everything. I have a personal connection to it, but I just watched that movie and like I can't find a flaw in it.
Yeah. And they filmed it here, just in case you didn't know.
I was excited watching it. Last time I watched it with the kids, and I'm like, "Oh, this is right down." I used to work down here, guys, and I saw them filming this shit, and like, yeah, and they're like,
so,
like, where are you? I'm like, well, I'm not in the movie.
Like, dude,
I'm right there in that building. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I'm watching like Nick Fury drive around. I'm like, oh, there's Guy's Pizza.
It's me watching Nick Fury drive the exact wrong way that street goes on the wrong side. I'm like, that's not how that traffic flows, sir. What are you doing?
and Dan reminded me, I got to put Dark Knight Rises in there. Bane is like my second, like between him and Killmonger is just like, man.
Funny, another one that a lot of critics and fans would tell you is not a good movie. They would go for Dark Knight over Rises, and I fuck with Rises.
Yeah, it goes.
Rises
the movie actually it goes 3, 2, 1 as far as like my favorite. Like it's in.
I like Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises like both above Begins, but I tend to put Dark Knight just because of the performance Heath Ledger gave.
Yeah.
As the Joker, but like I do enjoy the third one so much. It's like so close.
Right.
Yeah, that's how I feel about Civil War and Winter Soldier.
It's like Bane came through with so many one-line. Look, bro, I mean, molded by it. I didn't see the light until I was a man, and it was nothing to me but blinding. Is an amazing little soliloquy my man spits right there. You know what I'm saying? It was a little aside that he spits right there. It's like it's fantastic.
Man,
and like I said.
Like not only his lines in the movie, like his physicality in the movie, like his presence on the screen, like when he about to beat Batman's ass and he goes down that chain. So how did he do that so smooth? There's probably some wires and shit, but the way he just does it,
it's amazing camera work too because they made Tom Hardy seem like a giant. That motherfucker's only like 5'5",
and that gives you power over me.
Oh my god!
Oh man, Bane was such a
powerful
beast.
Tools to the uninitiated. But we are initiated. Aren't we, Bruce? I love that shit, bro. The League of Shadows, and yeah, bro, fuck with that movie hard.
Yeah, I do like how he puts that can on his. He puts his hand on that guy and like gives you power over me.
Gives you
that
power
guy's
over me.
Like a little bit of I'm about to die, aren't I?
And he did.
yeah. That like. Where the Joker is so unhinged, Bane is so poised, and like just the difference. Like, but at the same time, that one scene where Heath Ledger is coming out of the hospital and he's trying to set off the detonator. That walk, man.
But then think about it too, from the fact that like in the end. Bane's not even the one that's really in control. Yeah. Bane's just the henchman. Whereas, like, the Joker was in control the whole time in that second movie.
Yeah. Oh, it's good stuff. Thank you. Thank you for that, y'all.
That pencil magic trick is a classic, too.
You know how we do. Each week, after we wrap up all our little segments, we head to the mean streets of Reddit to simply put forth the question, am I the asshole? We already got one that Box sent us, so that's your guaranteed hit. But update, that motherfucker got deleted off of fucking am I the asshole? So whatever happened there, they was like, fuck this, you going. But the comments are still there, as well as the main thing and the screenshot from Twitter, so we're good on that. But here are some other options I pulled for you guys. Am I the asshole for being upset with my husband for using my bonus on him? Oh my God, when I pulled that one, I thought it said his bonus. I'm mad already. Holy shit. There's an update to the Am I the asshole for being upset that my husband uses bonus on me. So they wrote a whole another post. So that's a meaty one if we go that way, okay? Am I the asshole for calling out my neighbor who tried to take home all of my neighbor's chicken tikka masala at the beginning of our potluck? See, there you go. That's why I'm saying. Am I the asshole for refusing to take my sister and her kids in unless her husband stays out?
All this, like, you picked too many good ones this week.
Am I the asshole for not wanting my roommate tenant to do porn in my house?
Come on, man. What's wrong with you?
Last one. Am I the asshole for not checking my mail more often and causing my neighbors to miss out on something that was time sensitive?
I don't even see how that one can be possible.
I have drank multiple beverages. I got to take a quick move. Y'all consider this and I'll get back to you.
Okay.
All right. Play that music in the background.
I think all of them are funny, but like, man, there's so many good ones this week. Like, I want to know about why you can't. I really kind of want to hear the comments about the porn one. The Tiki Marcelo one just sounds hilarious. Like, because
the porn one to me feels like an OnlyFans thing, but I'm curious to see if it's like more of a Pornhub thing.
Yeah, I have seen many videos on Reddit. It was like, you know, the title is "Roommate Walks In on Me." I'm shooting. So, you know, it seems like it happens regularly. But like I said, that Tiki Marcelo one sounds pretty funny. So I guess we'll just have.
They're all good. Like you said, they're all good ones.
Yeah, I mean, like, we all laughed when that one got back.
I remember when the first potluck I ever been to, like in the first office I worked in, I had bought like an Edam's coffee cake in. You know, like the ones with the cream cheese and some like strawberry jam in it. And it didn't get touched, right? So when it was time to leave work for the day, I took that bitch home with me. And then the next day, one of the ladies walked up into the office to me. She was like, "What happened to the cake you brought in?" And I was like, "I took it home." She was like, "You're not supposed to take it home. You're supposed to leave it there as part of the potluck." I was like, "Y'all didn't eat it. What was I supposed to do?" And she was.
What have we decided?
And I found out that was bad manners that day.
I don't know. We chatted about other things. We got sidetracked.
All good. All
Tiki
right,
Marcella.
we're gonna start.
And
Yeah, I think the Tiki Marcella.
We're gonna start with the banger that Box sent us. Am I the asshole, 27 male, for not paying for my girlfriend, 28 female, to come on my family's vacation, even though I could easily afford it? Again, this has been deleted from Reddit, but I mean, it's a function. People delete these posts all the time, but the comments and so forth will stay there. My girlfriend for almost 3 years just bought a new condo that we recently moved into. She works a full-time job and for the past year also worked a part-time job to save for the down payment and other maintenance costs. She bought it about 2 months ago, then had to buy a wash and dryer, fix a plumbing issue, etc. My family goes on a yearly trip to my home country, Japan. We have relatives there. My girlfriend could not afford to go because of all the recent expenses related to the condo. My older brother was very curious as to why she is not coming on the trip. When I told her she could not afford it, he asked, "But you can pay for her to come, so why not do it?" He knows that I have a lot of money saved, and since I've lived with our parents since I was 26, rent-free, he also advises me on investments that have done well. I told him it's not my job to provide a vacation for her, that she's an adult. He was shocked and thought it was a disgrace that she worked 2 jobs to provide a place for us to live, yet I could not provide a vacation for her in return. He even offered to pay for her to come, although I think he said that just to piss me off. So am I the asshole?
Ooh.
The whole story to me was just...
Wait, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
All right. I'll go. All right. How close are they? I mean, well, yeah, they live together. Relationship, huh? Yeah, I guess he kind of is an asshole.
They were double talking. I thought they said he's. So how old is this guy? Because he said he lived with his.
27.
So they just.
So he's moved. He has moved from his parents' house into this condo with his girlfriend.
They only been together for a year then?
No, that's not what it says. It just says it's just like that's just where they are.
I thought it said 3 years.
I'll pull it back up.
Or did I mishear that?
All right. My girlfriend of almost 3 years.
Okay. So he's been freeloading off his parents his whole life up to this point, and now he's trying to freeload off of his girlfriend. This dude seems like a piece of shit, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, he does seem. That do seem whack. And he can afford it.
This dude seems like the kind of guy that will drive his girlfriend to work in her Nissan Altima, drop her off, and then go drive around and hang out with his side chick.
I mean, it's such an easy yes, you're an asshole that I don't know. We need to delve much further to that. There's no one that seems to have sided with him. Not just an asshole, real scum of the earth type shit. You feel me? Like,
yeah.
Nah, homie.
I just feel like the fact that in the actual story he wrote like things like I could easily afford it, and I have money. Just like how can you come to?
It's not my job to provide vacation for her.
But it's her job to provide a home for you.
Yeah,
I mean, come on, man. No, man. Yeah, you're terrible, and that's why your post you deleted your post because you knew your shit was terrible, and everybody in this post has called you an asshole, including Team SKiM.
And then, like, I thought the what was weird from the beginning is if he's living with her, why is she paying for all the shit to the house?
Yeah.
She would have been able.
I mean, that's her crib and her name on the deed. So fuck that dude, man. Ugh.
If I were her, I'd be like, yeah, go to Japan, but when you come back, you ain't coming here.
You going right back to live with your mom and daddy again. You better hope they cool. They got your space still.
Nah, they probably will. That dude is living a life better than all of us.
I mean, true. You know what? He's wealthy off his motherfucking whatever, but still, bruh, can't even call it.
I wish I still live with my mom sometimes.
You know, whatever. All right. You said y'all want that the potluck one?
Yes.
Yeah, you might have to bring back those other ones though for another week.
Oh, to the good.
Yeah, because that porn one was sounded funny too.
I will actually whip up a quick little bookmark folder, and I will shove those in there. No worries. Am I the asshole for calling out my neighbor who tried to take home all of my neighbor's chicken tikka masala at the beginning of our potluck? Last weekend, I invited my neighbors over for a potluck pool party. During a pandemic? During this personal pandemic? No, nigga, no. You was already wrong. Nothing big, just the neighbors in my cul-de-sac. All right, I guess it kept it small. Everyone has kids around the same age. It just got big again, so now I'm mad all over again. Everyone has kids around the same age, so it was a good time for everyone. There's this Indian couple that lives near us. Call them Pooja and Jim. Now, Pooja's cooking is incredible, and she brought over some samosas, chicken tikka masala, and chicken tikka masala. Samosas is the appetizer and chicken tikka masala for lunch. Now we have this other neighbor, call her Lindsay. Lindsay loves Pooja's cooking. When it came to the samosas, her and her hubby really went to town on them. It was a bit rude, in my opinion, filling up your plate with them. Not everyone got to have some. I didn't say anything.
Oh.
But this is what got annoying. When I opened up the food for lunch, Lindsay takes a big plate of food, and then 5 minutes later, she says she and her family have to go home, and that she's going to take some food back with her. I was like, sure. And then the entire aluminum tray of chicken tikka masala that people are still taking food of, she tries to take. I was like, okay, this is a bit much. I was like, hey, Lindsay, people are still eating food right now. I'll have my son bring you guys over some after people are done. She then gets mad saying that she brought a big tray of muffins she didn't even bake. These are from Costco. And she said she's taken her fair share. It got really weird, and it was like she just got super territorial of the food and says that I'm targeting her. My wife steps in, and there's no way we just want to make sure. My wife steps in, and it's like, no way. No, we just want to make sure there's food for everyone. She then starts angry crying, puts the food back, and says we humiliated her and that we only did this because she is a fat girl.
Oh, she did the F card?
Wow. Pooja and Jim step in. They're like, no, it's okay. You can take the food. We can make some more. It's no worries. And we are low on food. And if we are low on food, we'll just order pizza. Lindsay leaves, and her children leave shortly afterward. I didn't want to humiliate Lindsay. I just want to ensure that there was enough food for everyone. And it's just rude leaving a party early and taking a lot of food with you. Pooja tells me that I shouldn't have said anything and that she's actually flattered that Lindsay likes my food so that much. Am I the asshole?
Wow, this is complicated.
It is less complicated than you think, in my opinion.
I don't know. Maybe she was trying to fat shame her.
That's possible.
I feel like,
but also
part of it is hard to judge without knowing the size of the food container.
Well, she said she was taking the whole aluminum tray.
Well,
are we thinking like stern burner kind of thing? We're thinking.
I mean, if it's a little cul-de-sac thing, probably just want like one of the big foil pans you get from John
Even
Eagle.
if that's a half a sheet, that's a lot of fucking food to take. Because even if it's like the one that's only like a quarter of a sheet, that's still a lot.
This reminds me of The Simpsons, where Homer is at the all-you-can-eat a seafood buffet.
One of my favorite episodes of The Simpsons.
No, sir, don't take the whole eating tray.
I love when Lionel Hutz is of course defending them, and then it's like, what did you do after you left the restaurant, Mr. Simpson? And keep in mind, you are under oath. We went fishing. This is all your seafood joint. And he turns to the jury. Now, does that sound like a man who's had all he could eat? It's so fucking good, bro. It's like literally one of my favorite Simpsons episodes ever, man. And like the guys, because it's the sea captain who's like, "'Tis no man, 'tis a remorseless eating machine." It's like, what? Like, I love that episode of Simpsons. So
that's one of the ones I do remember watching.
Oh, for sure. So you are correct. It is a little more complicated. But also, I feel like anybody who is snatching up that food like that might not have food at the crib. Might not be doing so well here in this pandemic, and might have needed just some extra and was trying to slide out on the humble, on the quiet, on the QT, and then got her spot blown, which is why it turned to ugly crying. Because like, yo, you just wild embarrassed me. I was just trying to do this on the low. And so forth. And I know it could have just been like, she could have like, I really fuck with the Indian food and just was trying to snatch some Indian food because she fucked with it. But also it could be just bad times. We don't know. And so I feel more bad for her thinking she needed to, take food than whatever. I'm not gonna give this lady a full asshole. It's not asshole. It is kind of, somebody has to be there to advocate for the rest of the party goers who have brought food and spent their money and shit. You know what I'm saying? But
it was rude behavior.
It is asshole that she points out that she didn't bake the muffins. She bought them hoes. Like, bitch, no, that's not what we do here. That's never we ain't gonna shame people who may not have, again, the cooking experience, who might not be doing well in this personal pandemic. So, you know what I'm saying? She may not be able.
Bang.
You know what I'm saying? She may not be able to cook right now. And
those Costco muffins are pretty good.
Costco,
actually.
Bang. It's good.
I don't really, I don't have a lot of Costco type things that I'm like, that didn't work out. They make good shit. They just do.
I mean, it's not a lot of store-bought stuff like that's in the bacon, like in the fresh bacon section, that's not good. Them cookies, good. Muffins, good. Cake, okay, come on.
I don't eat pumpkin pie, but I fuck with Costco's pumpkin pie. It's very tasty. It's also massive. A lot of things going down this pandemic, bro. I'm gonna start walking tomorrow, but that's why I asked y'all about the gym earlier.
Yeah,
Yeah, that doctor's appointment was a bit of an eye opener. We'll just put it to you like that. So again, not going to totally call this woman. Where this woman's an asshole at is she wilding on this woman about not baking her muffins. Not so much an asshole for hey, they should leave stuff for everybody else because again, there always has to be somebody who advocates for it. And I'm not saying the other lady's an asshole either because I don't believe she is. It's a situation, you know. That now makes every interaction they have going forward wildly uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. People in the neighborhood looking at them sideways. And the woman who made the food like, fuck it, man, I can make more. Because I'm okay to do it. So
she wasn't upset by it?
Yeah.
But she can't make more in that regard because they're already at the party. Is she gonna go run home and whip up another batch of chicken masala? That shit takes time.
She might have already made more. And indeed, and her point was, I think she looked at it similar probably how I'm looking at it. Like, if she needs it, then I'll let her take it. We'll just order some pizza in. No big deal. Feel me? That's. I think that's what it is. I think the lady who made the chicken masala is simply just a little more, just has a little more caring in her heart about the matter.
Yeah, it's a lot of times like somebody can do something, and they are wrong, but your reaction goes to the point where they kind of stop being wrong a little bit. Yeah. Like, obviously the lady crying. And I mean, not only that, the other neighbors might know something that you don't. And don't want to be in front of everybody and be like, they poor, man. Come on, chill out.
Yeah. Exactly. So, yeah, there you go. That's my point on that situation. So we roll out. We got some more for you next week, apparently already, because these we're apparently a solid enough pool of a selection of Am of the assholes that we have more for you next week, and that's dope. I fuck with it. In the realm of video games, as you heard Box say earlier, he been popping shots in the Warzone. Have you got any dubs? Have y'all put up any wins?
No. We came close on a couple. So Call of Duty is rampant with cheaters.
Yes.
And so me and 3 buddies were doing quads the other night, and we got down to like 12 people left in the Warzone, and 4 of them were our team.
Mm-hmm.
And we get a little skirmish. We lose our best player, but me and the other guy double team and kill his attacker, right? So there's like 7 people left. 3 of them are us. Then we're like, the circle's closing in. Me and my buddies are kind of like creeping through the brush. All of a sudden, my Jack goes down. He gets sniped in the head. A half a second later, my other buddy gets sniped in the head. And then I get sniped in the head. And then, you know how they show you the fucking replay?
Yeah.
It's a dude running down a mountain, and he just zooms in on my buddy's head, pulls the trigger, zooms out for a microsecond, then zooms in on my other buddy's head, pulls the trigger, and then does the same thing. He killed us literally quick enough to where I was able to watch all 3 deaths in that little 2-second replay.
Yeah. Yeah,
with sniper headshots.
It's bullshit. Also, I would tell you to make sure you have it set to just console players, because them PC dudes are getting there and they run a cheat engine like you said, and they doing dirt, and that's just some. It takes the fun out of it. You know what I'm saying?
We were right there, and like I'm starting to get like a little bit better, but like I'm still not good. Yeah. And then like our one buddy, this is only like the 3rd time he played. So like we were putting up a showing for our skill level. Like our one buddy's pretty good. Yeah. He was carrying our team for a good portion of the games. But like we were right there. Like we were doing good. We were in a little cluster. We were like well stacked. And then this fucking cheater just comes and kills us all in 3 seconds with headshots.
Yeah. Bullshit. I hate it, man.
It's like, what's the point of playing the game at that point if you're just gonna fucking cheat like that?
True indeed. What have I done in the realm of video games? Well, the PlayStation is now on its vertical stand, so it's standing tall. And I did it like that because I had to move it over here for Vanessa to stream off of it. But now it's back over there by the TV, and now it's standing vertically on this side where the Xbox was, and the Xbox is over here. So I have 2 towers surrounding my TV. It's pretty hilarious. If you just look to my left, it's like 2 tall ass things. Basically, what I've done with games is I rearranged my game setup and Have not played much of it. I'm gonna double check with you. I don't believe I played anything in recent days. While I'm looking up, and Gabe, have y'all been playing anything?
I played Crash Bandicoot today.
4 or
The 1, 2, and 3. The trilogy.
Okay.
I sucked at it, and then I passed the remote to my son.
The studio that made that remake and that made part 4 basically just got closed last week and became and absorbed into making Call of Duty shit. It's like every studio that works for Activision is a Call of Duty backup studio now, and it's trash. That's what I started playing. Titanfall and Titanfall 2 are amazing. I remember Dan had an Xbox. He got Titanfall in his Xbox, the Xbox One when he first got it. And
I didn't really care for it. I tried.
I know, it was weird. But Titanfall 2, which you can go get because it's like I said, it's part of Game Pass, and just got an update of the frames per second boost, is an amazing game. And again, you can play it for free. And that campaign is amazing. I started playing that the other day, and I was like, God damn, I miss fucking Titanfall. It's good to be back in that bitch. Tried to play Resident Evil 7. That shit was too scary. It got turned off. Resident Evil 8 comes out tomorrow, and I was reading about it. They say it's going to be more, it's going to lean slightly more action, dial back the scary a little bit. So they even they know that shit was too scary, and so.
So I wasn't being a coward.
No, that game is wild scary, son. I was just like, nope, cannot fuck with this. So I'm good on that, man.
Have you tried to play The Last of Us, the first one yet?
I did play it. I enjoyed it. I just haven't gotten back to it.
God, it's so good. Once you really start playing it, like get into it, it will get its hooks in you. I've not played 2 like I need to, I know, but I'll get there eventually, man. So that's dope. You know what I'm saying that's what we've been playing. But that's it, people. We did it. We gave you a show. We do it every week, and it's wildly late. I'm glad I'm off tomorrow, but I'm sad because all y'all got to work tomorrow. Kind of a dick move, T. I know. I'm sorry. But you know how it is. Please rate, review, subscribe, and share the show wherever possible. Get on YouTube, give us a like, give us a subscribe, ring the bell so that you get notified every time we put up a new video. Give us a follow over on Twitch and Twitter. Stage Crunchy and Milk on Twitch. SKiMPod on Twitter. SKIMPOD. If you want to support the show financially and have a few bucks tossed our way, you can join us over on Patreon. Where members at the $5 and above tier get extra content each month and early access to new shows. You also have merch available at tpublic.com/user/stagecrunchy milk. All one word. They notified me tonight that I need to put a name on our TeePublic account because apparently I never did because they didn't need a name before, but now they need a name. So I had to go put my name on that bitch, or they wouldn't pay us our $6 from our sales in the month of April. Feel free to give us a call. 216-302-8763. That's 216-302-8POD. We'd certainly love to hear from you. It's Tatum 216.
Yes.
It's Lunchbox 2099.
I attended.
Indeed. That's the real ODP.
Yeah, special shout out to my sister who came and visited me tonight, and we had a lot of fun just chatting it up. And she said she turned a lot of people onto this show.
Respect due to it. If you got put on by the pod sister and you know who she is and you know how this gets down, show some love. Send us a little tweet. Send us a little message. Maybe we can hook you up with something. You know what I'm saying? That's how we get down.
Interesting phrasing considering the voice messages she leaves.
Before we get off, let me check Wrath of Chester for you. Nothing. Not since December of 2020.
It's all to the good. By the time you hear this episode, we will be a few days from our 8th anniversary. So I think next week we're going to sit and chop it up about that. So maybe that's what we'll talk about next week. It's all to the good. But for now, thanks for listening. We will see you next time. Oh, I am the Table 713. You've just been podcast 2 and I know you loved it. Peace.
Is mommy delicious?
Oh, shit.
Dad, what happened to you? You used to be beautiful.